Ayan, narinig na po ako. Yung iba po kasi ano po sila, yung standard name ng kanilang device. So please, i-check nyo po yung pangalan nyo na naka-full name po kayo. Complete name po. Okay? And again, I know medyo nakakaantok kasi kaka-lunch lang natin. Pero I hope engaged pa rin tayo at naka-on yung video natin. Kasi mas maganda if interactive tayong lahat. Nakikita ng speaker yung mga mukha nyo, ano yung reaction nyo, kung nakikinig ba kayong lahat. So let's all take this opportunity na makausap mismo si Sir Mon Abreya. Siya yung pinakakilala na tinatawag na tax whiz nga ng Philippines. So, malalaman nyo dito sa session na to kasi yung legality, yung legal aspect naman ng starting your own business. So again, please mute your mic yung mga kakapasok lang po ulit. Baka hindi kasi naka-mute and ma-distract po yung ibang participants and yung speaker po natin. Again, listen attentively. We trust this webinar series will guide you to become the entrepreneurs you were all meant to be. Some instructions on how to join Zoom. I guess okay na to sa inyong lahat. Okay. With that, pwede na po tayong mag-proceed sa ating second session. It's already 1:02 p.m. So kanina, we were with Sir George Winnicke, the president of the AFI, Association of Filipino Franchisers Incorporated. Pero for the next session natin, lilipat tayo sa topic na essentials in starting a business or the business registration process. So legitimacy and credibility are keys to take your business one step ahead. Know all the nooks and crannies of business registration in the Philippines, from DTI to LGU hanggang sa BIR through this webinar. Okay. Session 2. So this is our session 2. We have no less than the tax whiz himself, Mr. Mon Abreya, the chairman and senior tax advisor of the Asian Consulting Group or ACG Incorporated. Mr. Raymond Abreya, CPA MBA, is the co-chair of the Ease of Doing Business Task Force on Paying Taxes and the brainchild of the Tax Whiz PH. Mobile app po siya. And then he was recognized as one of the 2017 Outstanding Young Persons of the World, 2016 Digital Mover, and one of the 2015 Outstanding Young Men of the Philippines. He's also an Asia CEO Young Leader because of his tax advocacy and expertise, and recipient of the Metrobank Foundation's Award for Continuing Excellence and Service. Currently, as mentioned earlier, he is the chairman and senior tax advisor of the ACG Incorporated, the Philippines' first tax hub for top corporations, SMEs, and celebrities in the Asia Pacific. He's also the founding trustee of the Center for Strategic Reforms of the Philippines, or CSR Philippines, the advocacy partner of BIR, DTI, and the Anti-Red Tape Authority, or ARTA, on the ease of doing business. Further, he is considered the most prominent advocate of genuine tax reform, a sought-after speaker and most celebrated tax consultant to high-profile individuals and celebrities. He is also often invited as a tax expert resource in conferences such as the Youth Entrepreneurship Program and legislative committee hearings. He writes for various publications like the Philippine Daily Inquirer, Business World, and he also has an online column called hashtag Ask the Tax Whiz via Rappler. Okay, to further promote his advocacy on tax education and reform, he publishes tax books annually, making him a best-selling author of Got a Question About Taxes, hashtag Ask the Tax Whiz, and Iwas Buwisit, What to Do When Tax Attacks, recognizing him as the Philippine Tax Whiz. So again, you may follow him on his social media at Ask the Tax Whiz and download the Tax Whiz PH mobile app to ask Mr. Mon Abreya himself. So without further ado, let us all welcome Sir Mon Abreya. Sir Mon? Good afternoon po.
Hi, good afternoon everyone. Gising-gising, ha? Alam ko, for sure na-enjoy niyo yung lunch nyo after ng session nyo kay Sir George. Alam nyo si George ay matalik nating kaibigan katulad ni Carlo na third speaker nyo. Magkakasama kami lahat. Although hindi niya sinabi, no, ako yung pinakabata, sila yung mga nasa senior. At kayo yung mas bata. So, ganyan talaga ang buhay. You become a little more successful but at the same time you add years to your age. Kaya samantalahin nyo habang bata kayo to explore, to really work on something that you are really passionate about. Because the reality is, at a certain point in our lives, we will not have the same options or opportunities that are available to us right now. Kahit pa may pandemic, sabi nga ni George kanina, diba, there is opportunity in every crisis or in every problem like what we are facing right now with COVID-19. At sa pagsisimula ng negosyo, wag lang kayong ma-inspire. Wag lang kayong anong sinasabi nila yung sabi ni George na i-idolize niyo lang sila Ayala, sila Henry C. You can be like them. You can be better than us. So, dapat ang threshold ng success nyo beyond providing your family, which I understand. Walang problema po. If you want to start a business because you want to put food on the table, there's no problem with that. Pero ang pinaka ultimate threshold or significance ng doing business is when you are able to help a lot of people, provide employment even during pandemic, and ultimately contribute in nation building. Kaya nga si Trade Secretary Mon Lopez na kaibigan din natin, lagi niya sinasabi na tulungan talaga. We have to work on this. We have to help each other, especially during this pandemic. And registering your business is one way of helping the government, not just because you have to pay taxes, but it legitimizes whatever you want to do. At ang malalaking kumpanya, ang malalaking kliyente, syempre kapag registered ka, magiging option ka. Pero pag hindi ka registered, kahit gaano kaganda yung produkto mo, siguro sa simula, just to try, but they will not be able to sustain the orders or to have a long-term partnership with big corporations kapag hindi ka registered. And I don't want to scare you kasi ako yung napagdaanan ko when we started the business 10 years ago and the advocacy. Ang dami na yung penalties na hinarap kasama na sa SSS Pag-ibig because we were not told. I was not told. I am a graduate of accountancy program. Sabi nila, magaling daw kami sa math, debit, credit. But in reality, when you register a business, the books won't talk. Whatever we have studied in school will never be enough to prepare us to become an entrepreneur or even a successful businessman. Lahat siyan along the way matututunan natin. That's why you are very blessed dahil may gantong program na uulitin ko, even if you get a little inspiration, it's not enough. You have to be resolved. Come up with a resolution. What do you do now after this youth entrepreneurship program or conference? Because if you will not do anything about it, then we continue what we're doing and you will remain what? You will remain an observer. You will remain a dreamer, an aspirant until you take that risk to finally start whatever you want in life and to register it later on. So, I'm not forcing you to do it right now. Naku, sabi ni Mon, kailangan mag-register, baka habulin tayo ni BIR. Do not live in fear. You have to make sure there's a blueprint, there is a plan, and ultimately, there's a balanced scorecard. Ano ibig sabihin ng balanced scorecard? When you embark on doing business, it's not enough that you love what you're doing. Make sure you make money. Hindi po masamang magsalita about profit. Hindi masamang to aim for profit. Ang masama, you are passionate about what you're doing, but it's depleting your resources and ultimately will be risking your dream. Tandaan niyo po, you cannot help other people if you will not be able to help yourself. And having a business is your way to help a lot of people through your products, through your services, pero hindi lang dapat profitable for the first 3 months. Dapat sustainable. As long as you want to help not just the country, but the world, continue innovating, continue creating value. Ano naman kinalaman yan sa gusto namin? Maliit lang naman yung pangarap namin. Kung mangangarap ka na, laki-lakihan mo na. Sabi nga nila, libreng mangarap. Pero para to pa rin ang pangarap, maraming gastos at perwisyo at buwiset. You have to go through all those stuff, all those risks. And Whatever you're going through like right now, baka wala pang 0.1% yan. Kaya kung medyo na-hassle ka, ang haba ng seminar na to, ang hassle, ang daming process, you don't deserve to be successful entrepreneur. Intindihan niyo? Kung inaantok ka ngayon at hindi mo malabanan yung antok mo, you don't deserve to be successful. Why? Because successful people, we have to be accountable and we have to be ready to face all the risk, all the challenges. Mag-complain, okay lang, but we always use it to our advantage to improve ourselves. Sabi nga ni George, di ba? Kala niya hindi ako nakikinig sa kanya eh. Yung Zoom ayaw niya nung simula. Parehas lang kami. The first 2 months, I think, I refused to go online. I was like telling people, let's wait till things get normal. Tapos they were all asking me, even interviews, although I must admit, I think third week of March when the lockdown was announced up to second week of April, I had the chicken pox. And at my age, and without the vaccine, etc., medyo talagang parang naging chicken pox ako na may katawan. Sa sobrang dami niya na even the face that I cannot really go live. Kasi nga, of course, baka matakot yung mga tao because of my appearance during that time. But it also gave me a break to really reflect, which you should also do, pause for a while, and ano ba yung gusto ko talagang gawin. And it's not easy to do tax advisory or to have a tax expertise. Madali siyang i-claim pero mahirap siyang panindigan. Paano pagka nakasuhan yung kliyente mo o yung artista na headline and we are the one handling the taxes. So we have to be really not just experts but really very diligent in whatever we're doing. So hindi ito parang post sa Facebook na you are not accountable kay may magalit o wala. Sa amin, we are taking care of the tax returns, the businesses of a lot of large corporations, celebrities, MSMEs. So we do not discriminate. Kaya nga meron kaming TaxWiz PH Digital Solutions. And all these things, I will introduce to you, to all of you, whether you're registered already or not, because a lot of them are free. So you just have to be patient enough to go through the process, download the app, and subscribe to the YouTube channel, enroll to our online academy. Guys, all for free. Kung tinatamad ka, that's on you. I won't force you, but these are opportunities which you can consider if you really want to do business. Hindi po madaling magnegosyo. Kung yung iba yung speakers or nakilala, when they talk about entrepreneurship, they are truly inspiring. I will not naman scare you, but I want you to be more realistic. That if you want to do business, more than money, you should have the appetite, the risk appetite na mapuyat, na ma-reject, na malugi, na mapahiya, na magkamali, and all these things. But if you don't want all the ugly things, ay baka hindi ka dapat talaga magnegosyo. Kasi kung ayaw mo din magkamali, malugi, mapagalitan, then probably you can just stay at home and watch Netflix. That will be fun. Okay, so doing business is not all fun, but one thing I can guarantee you, at least po no, sa ating mga contemporaries, whether batchmates or nasa age bracket ko, I can say that I am a bit okay, meaning I am very satisfied with what I am earning, with the companies that I have, and with the advocacy that we do. So I think this is something that we should all aim for na may certain level of contentment or satisfaction tayo sa ginagawa natin. So I will not say that I am one of the richest in the Philippines, but I can honestly say that I have accomplished enough to say that I have worked hard and I deserve whatever I have right now, and hopefully I'll be able to achieve more. And kayo dapat ganun din. You keep setting goals. Hindi pwedeng complacent or titigil na tayo kasi nakatanggap ng award, kasi nagka 1 million pesos, okay na, milyonaryo na ako. No, you don't stop there. Aim for 100 million, aim for 1 billion, aim for 1 trillion. If you are already top in your batch, aim to be top in your university, in your region, in the country, and in the world. Dapat ganun yung mindset natin. In fact, when I joined the YCD, the Young Southeast Asian Leaders Initiative Program ni Barack Obama pa noon, bago pa pumasok si Trump, I think I was one of the a little old or oldest, diba? Kasi super bata ng iba. And since my age, 3 years ago, is qualified dun sa age. Kasi sabi nga ni Director Jerry, no, ang definition ng youth medyo Iba-iba, 'di ba? Merong below 30, until 30, until 35, until 40, wag kayo, merong hanggang 40, 'di ba? Parang ano 'yan eh, parang millennial pag ginugel mo, iba-iba din yung lumalabas, no? So but in short, you just have to take responsibility. If you want to be successful, be responsible. Wala po siyang secret formula. Wala po siyang isang speaker na babaguhin ang mundo nyo. Your life is your responsibility. If you want to be successful in doing business, really work hard. Attending seminar is one, but applying it is another. Making mistakes will really equip you. Ang sabi nga nila, patitibayin ng loob mo. Kumbaga sa diamond, pakikinangin ka. Kaya sa inyo, raise of hand nga, sino na ang na-reject, whether in love, in a proposal, hindi naman wedding proposal, marriage proposal, sapukin ko kayo. Sino na yung na-reject, na-disappoint, na naka-experience ng frustration or failure in life? Wala palang raise of hand sa option. So, you can chat. Me, yes, ako. You know why? Because the admission is very important. Yung iba in denial. Mga kuya, mga ate, okay lang magkamali. Ang malungkot, hindi ka natuto sa pagkakamali mo or hindi ka nagkamali kasi ayaw mong itry. At yung lesson natin this afternoon, marami kayong possible mistakes na magagawa. Hindi po yun reason to back out or to give up. Okay? So, let me share with you my slide. Hopefully, hindi tayo maligaw. Ayan, naliligaw na po tayo. Ayan, iba na po ang nakikita nyo. Ayan. So, what we'll be discussing this afternoon, at least for an hour, are the essentials in starting a business. But you know the difference with the discussion that we'll be having, hindi sa quotable quotes, but if you can really take note of a lot of things that I'll be discussing and prepare your questions afterwards. That's the most important thing. Mga ate, mga kuya, pag hindi ka nagtanong, wala kang natutunan. Sa dami ng sinabi ko, lahat na gets mo. Ang talino mo naman masyado. Hindi ikaw na ang perfect. So, wag mahiyang magtanong, wag mahiya na hinalito ka, wag mahiya na parang iba yung nabasa ko sermon, parang iba yung nakita ko sa internet. Can you clarify? Can you confirm? These are the important encounters. In this discussion, you have to ask. You have to verify what you have learned, the information that you will receive from me, okay? But before that, I invite you to watch this video.
Most people are afraid of taxes. Even the word itself lang.
Why should we pay taxes? We know where our money is going. There's no point in it.
But the thing is, sa lahat naman ng ginagawa natin, halos may kakibat na tax eh.
Just because they're not following the law doesn't mean that we shouldn't, because then nothing gets done.
ACG wants to help other
Young businessmen, young entrepreneurs,
make sure their taxes are good, they understand what tax is all about.
a fairer playing ground when it comes to business. There's no excuse being ignorant and not knowing about it, because knowledge really is power.
Kailangan lang ma-educate and ma-orient yung mga tao na magbayad ng maayos.
They're really trying to help everyone out by paying less taxes, but legally and paying it right.
Hindi dapat matakot yung mga tao sa pagbabayad doon.
Hey, we're all working together in one ecosystem. Let's make the ecosystem stronger.
Lahat ng gagawin mo ngayon will affect yung tomorrow.
And by paying taxes, we're helping actually everybody. don't tire in helping others.
Hi, I'm Salvi Dutrito. And I'm Michelle.
Tax knowledge.
By ACG.
Of course, I invite you to, ano nangyari? I invite you to visit our website, no, so you can learn more on how you can really prepare and start your business the right way. Kung napasin nyo, no, may mga personalities, we work with the government, nandun si Trade Secretary Mon Lopez, BIR Commissioner Billy Dulay, we work with the Anti-Red Tape, with a lot of organizations, with AFI, Organization of Sir George, Startup Village, organization ni Carlo, yung next speaker nyo, third speaker nyo for today, because collaboration is key, whether with private sector or with the government. But ultimately, guys, ang gusto ko na ma-take advantage nyo this afternoon are all these offerings, that the free opportunities for you to learn and to prepare your business the right way. So if you visit our website, you can learn more about it. But what I want is, if you can, if you want a copy of our bestseller tax handbook, ito siya. Yung nakita nyo kanina, no? Ayan. Iwas buwisit. So, you can just share the link, and at the end of my presentation, what you have learned, and tag my page, Mon Abrea, our digital team will get in touch with you and you can get a copy of the free tax handbook. But of course, what you are seeing right now are our tax with speech digital solutions. You can get a promo code from the organizer of YEP. You can, you're an automatic scholar. You can attend all the modules if you want to invest, if you can spare time to learn from the nitty-gritty of the different taxes, how to save from taxes, the long process of registration, the online options, how to deal with BIR audit, and how to save money on taxes. What are the tax exemptions, incentives available for all of you? Some of them will be discussed this afternoon, but in an hour, we cannot cover the entire tax code and all the important reminders that we should all know as a businessman or a future entrepreneur. Wala naman talagang instant, di ba? But this is an opportunity. At least you can, para magkakaroon ka ng glimpse of the entire universe of what you need to know so that you'll become a successful entrepreneur. So you can download our app for free. The good thing about it, there's a tax calendar, tax alert, and you can chat with us for free. So kung nahiya ka magtanong to this afternoon, you can just chat anytime, any day. We will reply. So at least sigurado ka na tama yung magiging sagot mo. So download Tax with PH mobile app. Then you can subscribe to our YouTube channel para makapili ka kung tinatamad ka o madaling araw ka buhay. Sino pa ba naka-live ng madaling araw? At least sa YouTube channel, you can select anong episode or anong topic yung gusto mong panoorin. In less than 5 minutes, you will learn something, di ba? Para hindi ka naman nape-pressure. Kahit araw-araw, isa lang yung panoorin mo. And we will be releasing a lot of modules para talagang ma-equip ang kahit sino na manonood ng mga episodes namin. Yung iba, kalokohan, nakakatawa, but in every episode, for sure, may matututunan ka. Then, of course, the Tax with Page Online Academy, as I have said, all of you who are watching now, who are subscribed or in this Zoom meeting, you just contact the organizer, they will give you the promo code, and you will be a scholar of the online academy, the Tax with Page Online Academy, with 5 modules and 1 master class on how to save money on taxes. A lot of them will be covered today, but the details cannot be accomplished kasi hindi information overload. But you can enroll immediately after this or now, diba? So this is the mobile app. So you'll have an idea, yung mga nag-iisip ano bang gagawin ko.
These days, everything can be done by phone. Ordering food, booking a hotel, buying gifts, getting a ride. It's all just a few taps away. But what if we could make taxes just as easy? The TaxBiz PH mobile app allows me to sit back and relax even if there's an upcoming deadline. Why? Well, because I've already did my taxes in advance, thanks to the tax calendar. And if I forget to check, the tax alert feature notify me of upcoming deadlines, keeping me on track. With the app, you can also calculate how much you need to pay. That's one less thing to think about come tax season. But what if you don't know how to do your tax compliance, or you have any other questions, well, you can just ask the Tax Whiz. Mon himself will be available for consultation through the app. Make taxes easy with the Tax Whiz PH mobile app.
Yes, so I will reply to you and wag lang kayo makipagkwentuhan but anything about taxes, it's only chat 24/7. Just download it for free and you can chat and ask your questions anytime. And as I have said, either you can use the QR code to enroll as the promo code and you will the class will start tomorrow. So 3 to 4 hours every module until October 20. So yan po yung mga and you can follow the Facebook page TaxWiz PH for more details. And as I have said, you can share this link but with the lesson that you have learned and tag my page Monabrea so that you can get a free copy of Iwas Visit. We will be releasing Iwas Visit 2. Ito po yung nakikita nyo for online sellers, influencers and YouTubers. Inaantay lang namin pumasa yung Internet Transaction Act bill saka yung digital taxation. Parang train law yan. Pagkapasa, hindi pa napipirmahan ni Presidente Duterte, piniprint na yung train handbook namin. So this time, Iwas Visit 2 for online sellers. Ayan, so essentials in starting a business. Madaling mangarap, no? Madaling masarap pakinggan yung mga successful entrepreneurs. Alam niyo ba na si SM, si Schumart, ay nagsimula talaga, kaya siya, diba, pag tinignan mo yung mall, para talagang box ng sapatos. Because literally, they started as seller of a retailer ng sapatos. Kaya nga Shoe Mart. SM Mall, Shoe Mart, diba? But little did we know that after many years, now they are the biggest and tinalo pa nila ang, parang ang nangyari dyan, malalaman na medyo developed na yung province pag pumasok na si SM. Pero ako naman, as somebody who enjoys traveling, pag walang SM, mas gusto ko yung province na yun. Ibig sabihin, mas ano pa, yung parang less developed pa, yung nature, talagang wala pa masyadong building or mas ma-experience, iba yung hangin, di ba? Siyempre, pag taga Metro Manila ka, ayaw mo na makita ng mall pag bumiyahe ka, di ba? So anyway, it's easy to say that you want to be an entrepreneur. But have you thought of what exactly the business that you want to do and how you will register it? As a sole proprietor ba? Meaning using your name? As a corporation ba? As a partnership ba? Or yung bago ngayon na one-person corporation? Mag-isa ka pero incorporated siya with SEC. So, bakit importante yon? Well, most of the discussions will cover kung paano ka makakatipid, ano yung options mo para hindi ka magka-problema sa tax. Pero ito yung pinaka-first step eh. Gusto mong magtinda online, gusto mo na maging professional videographer, gusto mo maging consultant ng stars, gusto mo maging developer, real estate developer, gusto mo magka-restaurant. The question is, will you go to DTI or will you go to SEC? Simple lamang naman po, di ba? Kapag sa DTI, ibig sabihin, you chose to use your name. As a sole proprietor or self-employed, magre-register ka ng business name sa DTI and you can do that online. But if you choose to incorporate, magkorporasyon, ano bang advantage nun? Well, a lot of corporations will opt to deal with corporations. That's the reality. The Ayala corporations will normally get suppliers who are corporations. A lot of big stars and personalities will have to deal with big names as well, whether corporation or self-employed or individual. It depends. Pero ikaw ang dapat makaalam. Ano ba yung na-envision mo 10 years, 20 years? In short, wag ka mag-register na ang iniisip mo lang kikitain mo this year. Lalo na may COVID, di ba? Wala ka pang kitain. Dapat pagka mag-register ka ng business, you are already envisioning the next 10, minimum, next 10 years, 20 years. Ay, corporation. Because I want to deal with corporations. I want to handle big contracts. Corporations. Ano lang eh, parang I am seeing this adventure for the next 10 years. Siguro hindi nga ako lalagpas ng mga 3 million sales eh, or siguro 5 million lang. Yun na muna ako until after 10 years saka ako magbe-business plan ulit. I think the sole proprietorship is for you. Bakit? Kasi pag lumagpas ka na ng 8 million na income, iba na yung tax nun, mas malaki na. So, we will cover that later. Then, kapag hindi, maliit lang talaga mo ang capital ko nga or initial asset ko, baka wala pang 100,000. You might consider hindi lang DTI, but go to DTI Negosyo Center and apply for Barangay Micro Business Enterprise or BMBE. Ano naman yun? Income tax exemption yun. Dapat tandaan mo. Take note, if your initial asset or capital will not exceed 3 million pesos. 3 million. Kung hindi lalagpas, then I encourage you to apply for BMBE kasi yun mismo yung intention, yung spirit ng law, the Barangay Micro Business Enterprise, to encourage the small entrepreneurs or the micro entrepreneurs. Kaya barangay kasi nga normally kapag maliit lang yung puhunan or maliit lang yung negosyo, parang barangay level lang yung transaction, but it doesn't prohibit you from selling elsewhere. But at least yung initial asset mo hindi lalagpas ng 3 million for the next 2 years, exempted ka sa income tax. Kalahin mo yun. Then you can renew it as long as hindi pa lumalagpas sa 3 million ang total assets mo. Paano kung Mon Corporation yung pinili ko ay registered sa SEC? Can I still avail of the income tax exemption under BMB? Syempre, kasi ang sabi ng batas, kay individual or corporation, as long as your initial assets or total assets will not exceed 3 million, you are still qualified. So, these are the things that you need to take note of before you register. So whether individual or corporation, may available incentive ba or anong percentage ng tax or ano yung mga preparation or organizational structure na kailangan ko before you even go to BIR. Huwag kang susugod sa BIR na ang tangi mo lang alam, ayaw mo magbayad ng buwis. Hindi pwedeng ganun. Dapat na project mo, I will have 100 million. But how do I save from taxes? Alam mo, ibigay ko 100 million kung kita sa government. Well, it's not bad to avoid taxes as long as it's legal. As long as there are exemptions or incentives available for you like BMBE. Okay? Clear po ba tayo? So just let me know if you have questions. So let's start with the first one. What? Why? Who? Where? Tax. Buwis. Ayaw mabuwisit, makinig ka mabuti. So, totoo ba na maraming tax sa Pilipinas? Ang hirap magnegosyo kasi sabi nung tito ko, sabi nung kaibigan ko, sabi nung kapitbahay namin, ang daming taxes na binabayaran. Alam niyo po, pag marami kang tax na binabayaran at malaking tax ang binabayaran mo, it's a good problem. Ibig sabihin po, mayaman ka na. Ibig sabihin, ang laki ng kita mo. Ba't ganun yung tito ko, maliit lang naman yung negosyo. Ibig sabihin, may mali sa kanya. May problema sa registration niya. Dahil kapag maliit ka pa lang, dapat either isa o dalawa lang yung tax na binabayaran mo, 4 times ka lang nagpa-file, or wala kang binabayaran. Because that progressive yung taxation natin. Ibig sabihin, maraming negosyo, mali yung registration at mali yung mga taxes nila. Yes. Why? Because they just want to do business. They outsource an accountant, a bookkeeper, a fixer, or somebody to do the registration for them. Shinortcut nila. Basta gusto ko mag-restaurant. Basta gusto ko magtayo ng boutique shop. Basta gusto ko mag-online. I don't want to deal with that. Ayun. Kaya nung nag-in-apply sila sa BIR, lahat ng tax chinekan. Okay, income tax, value-added tax, expanded withholding tax on compensation, final withholding tax, registration fee, lahat chinekan. The question is, are all these taxes applicable to you? Kaya ano yung unang tanong, what? What kind of business? What size? Or how much is your capital? For you to decide on what are the taxes you need to apply. In short, ikaw ang magdedesisyon anong buwis ang babayaran mo sa gobyerno. Example, will you be paying 12% VAT or 3% lang? Later on, i-discuss natin yan. Pero isa yan sa mga worries nila. Magbabayad ako ng 12% VAT. Kung hindi pa lumalagpas ang 3 milyon ng sales mo, you are not liable to pay 12% VAT. Paano kung na-register akong VAT? Yun ang problema mo. Uulitin ko po. Before you register, make sure you understand and you are decided. Clear sa'yo. Sole proprietor ba? Corporation ba? Ano ba yung projected sales ko in the next 3 to 10 years? Because that will dictate, that will determine What are the taxes that you need to pay? Meron ba akong employees? Hindi ako lang to, Mon, mag-isa lang ako, mag-vlog lang ako, saka YouTube. Kasi yung ibang laki na daw kinikita eh. Mas malaki pa doon sa sweldo ng branch manager sa bangko. Ganun kalaki as influencer lang. Oh, kung wala ka naman pala magiging employees, then you don't need to apply or register for withholding tax on compensation. Ni-register ako nung examiner, ay yung accountant ko ni-register eh. You still have time. For those of you na medyo napaaga, nag-register na, you can cancel it if it's not applicable to you. Kung wala po kayong empleyadong pinapasweldo, you should not be registering and filing and paying for withholding tax on compensation. Similarly, kung kayo po ay nasa bahay lang, wala namang opisinang nirerentahan or wala namang mga consultants na binabayaran, you don't need to register and file or pay for expanded withholding taxes. Kung hindi lumagpas sa 3 milyon ang annual sales mo, you are not obliged to pay 12% value-added tax. But you need to make sure hindi mo ni-register or i-re-register yung business mo sa 12% value-added tax. Sabi po ng examiner required daw yung VAT. It's a lie. Because the law is very clear. Kapag hindi lalagpas sa 3 million ang projected sales ng bagong business, the enterprise or the sole proprietor has an option to choose between 3% or 12%. Yung option na yon nawawala because you don't know. Okay? So, kasalanan ba ng examiner yun? Hindi, kasi collector siya. They need to collect taxes. Why will they choose the lower rate if they can collect 12% from you? But there are benefits also for having 12% VAT. Like kami, 12% VAT registered yung company namin. A lot of corporations or clients, they want a VAT registered consultant. Bakit? Because there is a tax benefit. May VAT, may input tax or credit. Pag binayaran nila kami, ini-issuean namin sila ng resibo na VAT invoice or receipt. They can use it to reduce their VAT remittances. Again, we don't need to dive into all the details, but you need to understand in number one, what, why, who, where, the taxes, it's all on you. You're the one feeding or providing information to BIR. You will decide what are the taxes that you need to register yourself on and what are the taxes that you will be filing and paying. The question is, na-register na ako ngayon. Oh, how do I now file and pay? OMG, kung yan pa rin ang problema mo dahil yung kapitbahay nyo reklamo sa BIR, I think you need to stop talking to your kapitbahay or whoever you are consulting with because there are already online platforms. You can file using EBIR form or EFPS. Online po yan, parang email ba? So you don't need to physically visit the BIR office to do these things. Pay, obviously, during the pandemic, no, na kumbaga, I think 85% ng tax payments were through online platforms. GCash, Paymaya, credit cards, Land Bank, DBP, all these things are online. So you just have to make sure you register or choose which one you are most comfortable of when it comes to paying your taxes. Kasi tulad ko po, marami kami sa office mga in-online na. Yung iba nga nagpe-Paymaya din kami. But there are those na hindi ako komportable but I assign it to someone else. Even our payroll, online na lahat yan. Aba kapag ang sweldo, magpapasweldo ko sa sobre, maraming risk doon, 'di ba? Pwedeng mawala, magkamali ng bilang. So online, lahat online na. Okay? And I will remind you that we have the app which is for free. So try to watch this again and if you have questions dun sa first few slides na diniscuss natin, start throwing your questions.
Cool. Not a lot of people know me as a businessman. And as a business owner, we have to deal with a lot of problems, especially taxes. Now, we lose 171 hours each year with the filing process and 43% of our income just trying to meet our tax requirements. I didn't want the fear and hassle of taxes to keep me from doing what I love. So, just like you, I wanted to protect myself and my business. So I went out and found the right people for the job.
Stress about taxes? Well, James and I developed the Tax Risk mobile app to make it hassle-free for you.
And the app makes everything simple. All you have to do is record, file, and pay.
Need to keep track of your receipts?
Just take the receipt, take a picture, and the app will keep a record for you.
You've got everything here, so you're never lost.
Once you've stored everything in the app,
The app will fill up the BIR forms for you, and you can make the payments using the app.
leaving you more time to grow your business or do what you love.
But this is not just for business owners. It's actually for everyone, and we don't have to be afraid of BIR anymore.
And Mon will answer all your tax questions through the Tax Quiz app.
Really? Yes, I will be with you every step of the way, because when it comes to protecting yourself and your business, you will never be alone.
Taxes don't have to be scary, and you'll never have to sit through a BIR line again. You get 171 hours of your life back without the worries.
You can spend more time doing things you really love with your loved ones.
Protect your passions and your dreams with the help of the Tax Quiz app.
Okay, so as I have said, you can download the app. It's for free. Tapos na yung phase 1. Ibig sabihin, you can use already the tax calendar, the tax calculator, the tax alert, and the Unli chat or the Ask the Tax Quiz feature. Pag nag-register kayo, pag nilagay nyo employee, yung calculator will also adjust na i-compute niya is yung withholding tax ng empleyado. Or you can compute the income taxes under the optional 8% or whatever. It's all in the app and you can access it for free. The phase 2 and phase 3 will be completed before the end of the year, where you just take a photo of the receipt. Lahat automatic na. Wala ka nang manual na sulatan or i-file sa BIR. Now we go to the third essentials. You now decide, gusto mag-isa lang ako, hindi ko kaya ng may board of directors, ayoko ng corporation na masyadong structured or bureaucratic. Gusto ko mabilis lang kasi ako lang talaga to. So anong form of business ang i-register ko? Well, as I had mentioned earlier, you can go to DTI and register yourself as a self-employed or professional, yung tinatawag na sole proprietor, 'di ba? Kapag ikaw ay licensed professional, you can use your name. You don't need to register a business name. Pero pag wala kang license, hindi driver's license, nurse, doctor, CPA, engineer, you can use your name. Kaya yung resibo nila, pangalan nila mismo. But if you still want to use your name, you have to apply it as a business name pag wala kang professional license. Like yung mga yung mga ating mga visual artists, yung influencer ngayon, mga YouTubers, online sellers. If you want to use your name, masyado mo mahal ang pangalan mo dahil binigay yan ng magulang mo, 'di ba? Halimbawa, ang pangalan mo ay Takleta Baru-Baru, 'di ba? Talaga namang nai-inlove ka sa pangalan mong Takleta at yun ang gusto mong business name at lumabas sa resibo mo. Pwede po yun, but you have to register it with DTI kung sole proprietor. Pero kahit mag-isa ka, may option kang maging korporasyon. Yun yung one-person corporation na pwedeng online lahat yan, ha. You don't need to walk in the park at maghanap ng COVID. You can do everything online. In fact, the partnership of DTI, DICT, and the Anti-Red Tape Authority na-launch yung National Business One-Stop Shop or NBOS, where you can do the application, especially one-person corporation, online. At ang maganda dyan, literally one-stop shop. Kasama ng SSS, Pag-ibig, PhilHealth, BIR, lahat registered kagad. So you can use the NBOS, okay? Ngayon, ano ngayon ang advantage? O ano yung option, ano yung i-consider ko? Again, based on your projected income or gaano ba kalaki gusto mong kitain. Kasi kung hindi ka lalagpas ng 8 million, honestly, sole proprietor ka na lang muna. And I'm not undermining your potential. Ikaw nag-project nun eh. But if you think, big time to mo na malaki talaga kikita ang sales ko dito, 100 million. Then, if your taxable income will exceed 8 million, ang personal income tax po for ultra-rich or those who are earning above 8 million, 35%. Income tax pa lang yun. Meron pang business tax. Therefore, I suggest you choose the one-person corporation kasi under OPC, fixed corporate income tax lang ang babayaran mo, hindi 35%, kung hindi 30% lang. At pag pumasa, if you are following the tax reform bills, pag pumasa yung create bill, yung sinasabi na ibababa ang corporate income tax, and I'm very proud to share, isa po tayo sa nag-advocate at nagpupush nun, magiging 25% na lang yung corporate income tax versus the 35% ultra-rich under personal income tax. Akala ko ba mas mababa ang personal income tax kung maliit ang kita mo? Kaya nga sinasabi ko sa inyo, huwag kayong nagpapadala sa mga chismis o sa mga narinig nyo. Kailangan alam mo ano yung kinikita mo, ano yung business mo, and find out ano yung applicable sa'yo. If you're not earning above 250,000, you are exempted from income tax under the train law. But if you are earning above 8 million, you will be paying the highest income tax, at least in the ASEAN region, at 35%. Versus our corporate income tax right now, 30% lang. At pag binaba na, gagawing 25%, and in the next 5 years, magiging 20%. Imagine mo yung difference nun. 35% personal income tax versus 20% na lang. So, again, for me, as somebody who appreciates our tax laws, I think that will save you a lot of money. Okay? Then next, nabanggit mo yung optional 8%. Tapos sinabi mo 35% yung personal income tax. Ako ba talaga mamimili ko anong babayaran ko? Yes. If, listen carefully, if your annual sales, yung pinoproject mong annual sales or annual revenue mo, hindi lalagpas ng 3 million pesos, you have an option to elect yung 8% every first quarter of the year. In short, hindi siya permanent. Every year, pwede kang mamili kung optional 8% or yung graduated income tax na 35% yung ultra-rich rate. Diba? At pagka sobrang laki ng kita mo, mas maganda matipid mo, mas ma-enjoy mo yung pera mo. Pag binayaran mo yung 35%, ang laki nun, diba? Ano ang difference? Sa optional 8% po, based on gross na. Wala nang resibo or expenses na i-claim. Quarterly na lang, 4 times a year ka lang magpa-file, optional 8%. Kaya pag hindi lumagpas sa 250,000 yung kita mo, wala ka din babayaran kasi nga exempted siya under the train law. Versus kapag lumagpas sa 3 million ng annual sales mo, hindi ka na-qualify doon sa optional 8%. Automatic, nasa graduated ka na. Yung lagpas sa 250,000 kasi diba exempted yung first 250,000 ng mga individuals. Whether you're employee, self-employed, or professional, or freelancer, basta individual ka, yung first 250,000 mo exempted under the train law. Pero pag lumagpas doon, 20% na yung rate. Pag lumagpas ng 8 million, magkano yung rate? 35%. Kaya nga ultra rich. Although of course, when it was being debated in Senate and Congress, ako sabi ko, yung 8 million hindi ultra rich. I-divide mo sa 365 yon. Kaya nyo na yon. Maliit lang yon. It doesn't make you ultra rich, di ba? But dapat tinaasan yung threshold. But anyway, 35% is so much to pay. So make sure you do not commit yourself to 35%. Diba? Kaya yung iba, balik tayo doon sa kanina, instead na 35% under self-employed, nagwa one-person corporation ngayon. And some of the celebrities are also doing that. Kasi nga, a lot of them, ang contracts, 100 million, 200 million, diba? Dapat nag-artista na lang tayo. Ba't ba business? Dapat may program yung DTI, how to be a star. Diba? Anyway, so if you don't want to pay 35% para makaiwas buwisit, make sure when you register, you study and prepare well before you start submitting your application form. Then, yung lagi nasasabi, 12% VAT, 12% VAT, lahat ba dapat magbayad ng 12% VAT? Hindi po. Pag hindi lumagpas sa 3 million ulit, di ba pa ulit-ulit yung 3 million pag di nyo pa natandaan? Pag hindi lumagpas sa 3 million ang annual sales mo, you have an option. Option mo. Whether to register yourself for percentage tax, 3% lang, quarterly lang ang filing, or 12% VAT, monthly and quarterly ang filing. Anong advantage ng 12% VAT? Kapag retailer ka or manufacturer ka na marami kang resibo, 12%, meron kang VAT invoice, mababawasan yung 12%. Kaya yung iba, they pay only 1%, 2% kasi marami silang gastos na may resibo. But seriously, a lot of problems of our small entrepreneurs, marami silang suppliers na nasa marginal or informal sectors. Yung mga magugulay, yung kapitbahay, yung laborer, yung mga laborers nila, mga kakilala, mga contractual, hindi registered, walang resibo. Pag ganun, at 12% ng registration mo, dehado ka. Because instead of saving the 12%, you'll be paying or remitting the entire 12%. Kaya nga tiba ang biro ng iba, nag-iipon sila ng resibo because you need VAT invoice or receipts to reduce your VAT remittance na monthly. Kaya kung hindi ka pa lalagpas sa 3 million, yung projection mo hindi lalagpas sa 3 million, utang na loob, huwag ka muna mag-register as VAT. Doon ka muna sa non-VAT or 3% quarterly. Again, that is an option that you will have to make. Decision mo yan. Huwag mo sisihin si PIR. Okay? Meron pong na-mute, no? Parang gusto makipag-competition sa boses ko. Okay, then 6. Ano ba yung qualified mo if I want to reduce my taxes? Kasi 'di ba sabi nila, if you have resibo or valid yung mga expenses mo, you can use it to reduce your income tax or tinatawag na deductible expenses. Yan ang benefit ng mga self-employed kasi yung mga empleyado, kahit kumain ng kumain at gumastos ng gumastos, hindi nababawasan yung tax nila. Hindi tulad ng mga self-employed, everything that they spend for the business is deductible expenses. Ano ba yung qualified na proof or supporting document? Invoice or receipt? Kasi minsan invoice binibigay, minsan naman official receipt. Parehas lang po yun. Kapag service yan, normally official receipts ang ibibigay sa'yo. Kapag merchandise yan or nagpa-deliver ka, sales invoice ang binibigay. But both of them are valid as a supporting document. Siguraduhin nyo lang, hindi yan pinrint sa recto o binili sa bookstore. Dapat may BIR accreditation, may number. Of course, madaling kopyahin, no? But ultimately, wag ka naman yung halatang pinrint lang sa sa recto tinanggap mo o kaya walang lang nakalagay name tas may box tinanggap, hindi official receipt yun. Dapat kompleto yung details, okay? And make sure that you also put the receipt under your name or your business name. Kagabi tinanong yun kahapon. Every Monday kasi we do FB Live with some celebrities tulad kahapon with Bea Binene and Valin ng Bubblegang sa GMA7. We did a hashtag Ask the Tax Swiss Live. Every Monday po yan, 3 p.m. sa ACG Facebook page. So you can follow it now and you can check the link there. Matatawa kayo kasi ang dami naming tanong na sinagot. Ako yung sumagot. Isa sa tinanong doon, ano ba yung dapat nakalagay sa resibo? Pwede bang letter C? Di ba madalas yung resibo nilalagyan C o kaya blanco? Hindi po valid yun. Dapat po, kung ang pangalan ng business mo, yun nga kanina, yung Tekla, ano ba, Tekla ba yun? O, di Tekla dapat ang nakalagay. Or Tax Swiss dapat ang nakalagay. Kung pangalan mo yung registered name, pangalan mo ilalagay. Hindi pwedeng C or blanco. Otherwise, pag na-audit ka ni BIR, i-disallow niya yun kasi baka kinuha mo lang sa kapitbahay yun or kang kanino. So again, these are the things that are important to be considered as early as now. Hindi yung pag sobrang yaman mo na o sobrang sikat mo na o laki ng business mo. Tapos kung sino-sino na yung consultant o magpapayo sa'yo na may vested interest naman. Worse, mga fixers yung makakausap mo na maglalagay na lang sa BIR, sa kung saan mang government agency. You have to start it the right way, especially if you want to make big and become successful. Then, si James, ang tanong naman niya, collect or select, hindi po girlfriend, no? Ito po yung pagde-decide whether you can accumulate supporting documents or resibo to reduce your taxable income or you will just elect yung optional standard deduction. Para po sa mga big stars na hinahandle namin or mga professionals na 50 to 100 million and above ang kanilang mga annual revenue, hindi namin sila pinag-iipon na resibo or yung resibo nila ginagamit namin for VAT purposes pero to reduce their taxable income, ang pinipili namin yung optional standard deduction or 40% of their gross. Yun lang yung deduction sa kanilang taxable income para ma-compute yung taxable income. Bakit? Para hindi na ino-audit ni BIR. Kasi, kalimbawa, kung 100 million yung revenue ko, gusto ko makatipid sa income tax, kailangan meron ako 99 million na resibo. Sino na magagastos ng 99 million na, di ba? I mean, you don't do business to spend it. You do business to accumulate net worth, your equity. So in short, gusto mo talaga may bottom line or profit. Pero kung wala kang resibo, then you will be paying a lot of income tax. So for some taxpayers, we recommend optional standard deduction. Ang difference lang, they do not claim their actual expenses kasi konti lang yung resibo or expenses nila. We only claim 40% standard deduction. So kung 100 million ang revenue nila, less 40%, 60 million lang po yung taxable income. Kung self-employed siya, magkano ang income tax? 35%. Diba? Kasi above 8 million Pero kung corporation siya o one-person corporation, flat 30% right now. Pag pumasa yung bill, hopefully before Christmas, magiging 25% na lang. Okay? Then, we often hear it, no? Tax credit, tax refund, carry over. Ano po ba yung mga yan? Well, tax credit, normally ito po yung mga wini-withhold sa atin in advance. Kapag ka proprietor ka, self-employed or professionals, pagka yung, halimbawa, ang talent fee mo, professional fee mo, or ang income mo is, income payment sa'yo, 10,000, pero binawasan ng 5% or 10% or 15% withholding tax, yung binawas sa'yo, Hindi yun basta binawas lang. May kapalit na form yun. BIR Form 2307 or yung sinasabi nating tax credit. Ibig sabihin, pag nag-file ka at nagbayad ka ng income tax mo, yung winidhold sa'yo nung nagbayad sa'yo, nung kliyente mo, makiklaim mo as tax credit. Example, 100,000 yung income tax na babayaran mo for the quarter, pero naka-accumulate ka ng tax credit or winidholdan ka in advance amounting to 70,000. So, binawas yun sa binayad sa'yo during the first 3 months. So, pag file mo ng income tax return mo, yung 100,000 na income tax due, okay, less 70,000 tax credit kasi na withhold na sa'yo. So, ang babayaran mo na lang, 30,000. So, yun yung tax credit. Then, tax refund naman, for employees, madalas yan, no, nag-a-adjust sa December or yung sobrang na-withhold, nire-refund ng January. Kaya paalala po para dun sa mga maging employed muna or may employment or magiging employee in the future, dapat every January nakakatanggap kayo ng BIR Form 2316. Yun yung alternative or substitute sa income tax return. Na pwede mo din gamiting tax credit kung meron kang business kasi magko-consolidate ka ng compensation income at business income. And ano naman yung carry over? Yung yung mga losses mo, pwede mong i-carry over sa succeeding period para mabawasan pa rin yung taxes mo. But again, you should have supporting documents. So halimbawa, nalugi ka during the lockdown, nasira yung mga paninda mo, nagkaroon ng mga spoilage or losses, mga embezzlement or other forms of losses, pwede mo i-claim yun to reduce your taxes. Again, hindi po masamang mag-save on taxes as long as it's legal and supported or according to the law. Then, as I have mentioned, no, if you download the app, may tax alert siya. So, pag may bagong regulation, pag may deadline, i-remind ka niya. And why are this important? Kasi halimbawa ngayon, merong amnesty. So, kung meron kang minanang lupa, 20% ang estate tax rate before. At kung ito ay 10 years ago, hindi mo pa rin nababayaran yung inheritance or estate tax, meron ng 25% surcharge yan, 12% interest at compromise penalty. Ang laki-laki niyan, baka kulang pa baka sobra pa sa halaga ng lupang minana mo yung babayaran mong tax. But because of the estate tax amnesty na available until next year, waive lahat ng interest at penalty at hindi 20% ang babayaran mo, 6% lang. So, these are important information for you to decide whether to pay now or pay later or how to deal with your tax obligations. Ulitin ko po, a lot of things when you do business are based on information that you have. Kapag kulang ka sa information, hindi mo alam yung options mo. And you cannot save on taxes kasi ang tendency mo, tulad nga nung sabi ko, yung kapitbahay mo bayad ng 12% VAT or hindi nagbabayad kasi nagkukuripot, yung pala hindi naman siya dapat nagbabayad ng 12% VAT but na-register siya sa VAT. Ba't ganon? Kasalanan niya yun. Huwag niyo na siyang gayahin. Kaya experience may be a good teacher but you don't need to experience it all the time. Pag na-experience na ng iba, matuto ka na sa kamalian nila para hindi na mangyari sa'yo. Okay? Then, the tax calendars, para naman makapag-date ka, meaning makapag-schedule ka ng iba pang gagawin, hindi ka makaplano-plano yung budget mo kasi hindi mo alam kung kailan mag-due yung mga taxes mo. So, pag dinownload mo yung app, meron din siyang tax calendar kung kailan deadline ng VAT, withholding tax, income tax, and it will remind you, may tax alert nga, di ba? So, ako when I started doing business, hindi yung 'di ba may mga organizer, sa akin meron akong sariling organizer na sa cellphone, tapos nagsusulat din ako. Importante na you list the things that you need to do. Yung sinasabi ng TDL, to-do list. But also very important, you block off your schedule. Kung gusto mo magbasa buong hapon, kung gusto mo manood ng Netflix ng 2 oras, if you need to do Zoom webinar, seminar, etc., i-block off mo, mag-calendar ka. In the office, sa ACG, we use time tree. Kapag wala naka-block off sa schedule ko, I have my own personal list. I do other things that I want to do. I can read. I was able to write a new book during the lockdown. I was able to read a lot, attend a lot of webinars, even yung mga Harvard seminars, because I have a schedule. So, sa taxes ganun din. Wag maging surprise, ha? Birthday lang ang masayang surprise, pero yung mga deadlines hindi dapat surprise yan, dapat pinaghahandaan. And as I have mentioned, kung kayo ay talagang desididong maging negosyante, maging entrepreneur, and you want to be successful and save money on taxes para hindi ka mabuwisit, well, you can invest time, invest on yourself, enroll to our online academy, Tax with Speech Online Academy. You can use the QR code as the promo code. I will not force you, but I'm telling you, these are opportunities available for you guys. Okay? Ang gusto lang namin is ma-encourage ang ating mga kabataan at ang ating mga startups na talaga mag-register ng business at hindi takot sa buwis. Because at the end of the day, we decide on the fate of our business. Kung ito ay magiging successful or hindi, kung tayo ay makakatipid o hindi, kung tayo ay kikita o hindi, hindi dapat surprise yun. We should have a blueprint. We should have, hindi lang pwedeng business model. Dapat talaga na-project mo na envision mo na gaano ka-successful, gaano kalaki. Sabi nga ni Salvador Plito ng ANC on the Money, if your dream is vague, your future is vague. So, pag sinabing gusto mong maging mayaman, that's vague. Dapat, gaano kayaman? Gusto ko magkaroon ng 10 billion in 10 years. Aba, pag hindi mo dinefine kung paano mo ma-earn yung 10 billion, kung hindi ka magiging smuggler, magiging corrupt ka o magnanakaw. Or may scam ka. Kaya maraming nai-scam because they get too excited na uuto sila, natetempt sila. So you really have to have a plan para hindi ka nasusway or napapersuade ng basta-basta o nakakita ka ng post sa Facebook. Uy, dumoble yung pera niyan, dami yung pera, pinost niya sa Facebook. Yung mga nagpo-post po ng pera sa Facebook, i-block nyo, walang pera yon. Ang totoong may pera, ang totoong successful, hindi niya i-broadcast or ipopost sa Facebook. Kaya nga masinahangaan ko, ako especially, personally, masinahangaan ko yung mga katulad nila George na successful na pero mas priority nila mag-give back or to do advocacy. Kaya kami magkakakilala because we are in one big community of mentors, advocates, whether starting a business, collaboration, or of course paying taxes, tax reform, diba? Even with Carlos, sa mga startups. So importante talagang clear yung vision mo. What do you really want to accomplish? And you have to have a timetable. Alam nyo guys, pag ang plano nyo successful lang, pero hindi concrete at wala kang timeline, pangarap yan na hindi matutupad. I can already see your future. Nothing will happen. But if you have a clear timetable, kahit na broken-hearted ka, disappoint ka, na-reject ka every now and then, but you continue struggling, striving harder and harder and harder. Believe me, it may not be this year, but time will come based on your plan. Ma-delay man yan ng 1 year or 2 years, if ma-postpone mo man yan, but if you keep following your plan, tandaan nyo, pag nag-set ng plan, hindi ibig sabihin, hindi pwedeng baguhin. Ang mahalaga lang, pag naka-encounter tayo ng challenges, we adjust. We have to be a little bit flexible, di ba? Sabi nga, kung yung ginagawa mo for the last 5 years did not make you rich or did not make you successful, obviously, there's something wrong with your plan the last 5 years. Sir, wala naman kaming plan eh. Then that's already a plan to fail. So, I guess the first resolution that you have to make now is to have a plan. Kung yung mga kumpanya may targets, sales, target cash, target runway, bakit ikaw walang target? Kung yung government, yung BIR may target revenue, bakit ikaw walang target? Gusto mo maging successful, gusto mo maging mayaman, hindi mo naman alam kung kailan at paano. Sinong tutulong sa'yo? Loto. Diba? Yung iba gusto manalo sa loto, di naman tumataya sa loto. Ganun din kasimple yung concept niyan. If we want to be successful, especially on entrepreneurship, we need to invest on ourselves. We need to equip ourselves. During this lockdown and in the succeeding months na hindi pa rin normal lang lahat, or even if the new normal becomes really the norm, we have to not just adapt. We need to improve ourselves. We need to pivot in a way that we can create more values, that we can relearn and learn a lot of things, especially the skills that are more relevant nowadays. Ako, hindi man ako techie or tech savvy, I can tell you, if there's one trait or one activity that I do that I am ahead of a lot of people, I read a lot. Breakfast ko yan. Dinner ko yan. I read a lot. So if I talk a lot, multiply it by 1,000, that's how much learnings, information I try to accumulate. And even if I watch some series, movies, I always relate it to life and to what I am doing. So you should not lose your creativity. You should not stop imagining. Pag tumigil ka mag-imagine, that's the end of you. Dapat kaya mong imaginein yung future mo. Hindi porket may problema o kahit naman nasa traffic ka or pinag-aantay ka ng kaibigan mo, nung shota mo, ng nanay mo, aba, use that time to reflect. Ako before, honestly, mainipin ako, impatient ako. But now I learn to make use of my time. So pag pinag-aantay ako, I try to watch some episodes in sa YouTube or read some articles, and minamarkahan ko siya pagka na-skip ko or hindi ko nabasa. So make use of your time. Invest on yourself first, especially during this in our circumstances right now. Ang daming materials online. So don't just follow one person or one page. Try to learn from a lot of people, not just from us. Okay? And why is it important to take note of what I have said? Well, these are the common violations and penalties that you will incur kapag matigas ang ulo nyo, kapag mayabang kayo, kapag hindi kayo handa. You want to do business, then pay all these penalties if you're not ready. I guess that's a clear warning to everyone that to be successful, you need to be prepared. If you want to be successful, you have to be accountable. Accountable of your life and accountable to the decisions that you'll be making. Hindi pwedeng naninisi or pati kapitbahay, si Presidente Duterte, o pati si Harry Roque, sinisi mo na sa kayong dolphin. Hindi pwedeng ganun. I mean, you can criticize if you want, but at the end of the day, pag walang nangyari sa buhay mo, hindi kasalanan ng nanay mo, ng kapitbahay, o ng ex mo. I mean, if you end up being bitter and not doing anything or not accomplishing anything, that's clearly a decision that you have made. So, guys, girls and boys, to the future entrepreneurs, malay nyo, one or some of you will be our clients. Ibig sabihin, big time kayo. Oh, who knows? That's something that you can only decide on. That's the future that you will create for yourself. So right now, for sure, you want some freebies, you want free books, you want cash prize, join our Ayuda ni Tax Swiss. Weekly, we give away cash, discount vouchers, bestseller book, and even scholarship grant to all our digital solutions. So with the help of our partners, ayan. So you can just follow our Facebook and Instagram accounts for details. Keep liking, sharing, especially our live hashtag Ask the Tax Swiss. Soon we are launching BIR in Action. That will be an online program with the Bureau of Internal Revenue, which I will be hosting for BIR. So in short, take advantage of all this materials, resources available online. At syempre, kung ikaw naman ay pwedeng magkapera, magkaroon ng voucher or libro na libre or scholarship, abay, konting effort lang, di ba? So whatever you have learned from me this afternoon, post it, share this link, and tag my account, and our digital team will get in touch with you if you are the lucky winner of our bestseller tax handbook. And make sure to register sa aming Tax Swiss PH Online Academy. Guys, you are already declared scholars. You just have to register. Kung ayaw mo this week, this month kasi marami ka ng schedule, next month, before Christmas, we have a lot of time to learn. Let's not waste it. Okay? So don't forget Tax Swiss PH mobile app. Download it now. Tax Swiss PH YouTube channel. Subscribe and watch one episode a day. That will be fine. Tax Swiss PH Online Academy. Enroll whenever you want. But if I were you, I'll enroll right away. Bakit? You pay 10, 50,000 to have a tax seminar. Here, it's just 2-3 hours per module. There are 5 modules and 1 master class where I will help you save a lot of money on taxes. So every Monday po, I want to see you guys sa aming hashtag Ask the Tax Swiss Live sa Asian Consulting Group page. So follow our page. Yesterday, we had Bea Binene and Valin Montenegro. We had so much fun. You can watch the replay. And every week, we'll try to make it more entertaining, but we'll make sure we answer all your tax questions. Kung mahihain po, just download the app and use our Andy Chat as the Tax Swiss feature. So I hope to see all of you guys in our live sessions dahil hindi namin kayo bobolahin. Sasabihin namin sa inyo yung totoo, tuturuan namin kayong makatipid at hindi matakot sa BIR para makaiwas buwisit kayo. You want to be successful? Let's help each other. Share this now. So that's it. So if you have questions, I am more than excited to answer the question.
Ayan, Sir Mon. Hold on medyo Ayan, hindi na ako nag-echo na. Sir Mon, we have a lot of questions actually from our participants, pero I'm seeing a lot of specific na masyado to their businesses, and I think you can ACG can answer naman through the app, no?
Yeah,
you
yeah.
have your app
Yeah, we
and you
can
have
answer
your
siguro
social
yung mga
media
general.
links available. So, yes.
Just
Mm-mm.
throw me some
If the
questions.
general naman po, I see a question here, sir, na feeling ko maraming makaka-relate, sir. Sabi ni Christine Laberinto, if I'm about to register online my business under sole proprietorship sa DTI, which is online na guys, bnrs.dti.gov.ph, you don't have to hire someone to register, okay? So, ang tanong ni Miss Christine ay, when should I register po sa BIR?
You have 30 days to
So,
register. As I
may
have
deadline daw po ba ang pag-register sa BIR?
Yes, as I have mentioned earlier, pagka pinili mo si DTI, the next step is BIR. But you have 30 days para hindi ka mamultahan ni BIR. And you can do naman online, so hindi siya problema. If you choose SEC, ganun din, you have 30 days. But unlike before, na mauuna muna yung barangay clearance, yung mayor's permit, ngayon pwedeng BIR na, tas sabay i-register mo na rin sa City Hall or sa munisipyo.
Tapos sir, for the penalty, if ever hindi po sila makahabol sa 30-day na palugid, what
20,000
will
pesos.
happen? Oh my
20,000
God.
pesos ang penalty.
Okay.
Isa yan sa mga master namin, yung mga penalties. So, you really have to take note of the deadlines because the penalties are no joke. Magastos po siya, lalo na kung maliit lang yung puhunan natin, mapupunta lang siya sa penalty. So, really take note of the deadline. In kapag ka nag-register kayo, kung ano man yung taxes na mare-register kayo, yung deadlines nandun na rin sa certificate of registration nyo. Huwag nyo siyang i-display ng hindi binabasa. Kasi nandun talaga yung pinakamalaking problema. Pag hindi natin siya na-comply, may mga penalties talaga at mabigat siya talaga. Oo daw, si Miss Bayabo daw, nagbayad ng penalty. Sorry. Pero yun talaga eh. I think mas mababa pag sa province, pero pag sa city, 20,000 pesos.
Okay, thank you so much Sir Mon for that for that info kasi I think yun yung next question agad ng mga tao if they register their names, business names, what happens next. So
Yeah.
thank you for that.
And
For the
don't
other
forget,
question, Opo, sir.
pag less than 3 million pa lang yung initial asset nyo, apply na rin sa DTI Negosyo Center for Barangay Micro Business Enterprise or BMBE. Because I think it
Yes.
will really save you a lot kung exempted ka muna sa income tax and you don't need to worry about it, diba? Ano ka lang, negosyo-negosyo ka lang, kumita na maliit o malaki, at least pag kumita, swerte, but you don't have to worry about income taxes muna, diba? And after 2 years, you can renew it naman.
Correct po. And na-mention ni Sir about BMBE, na-mention din ni Sir yung negosyo center na tinatawag natin. To explain lang po briefly sa inyo, ang negosyo center ay yung mga little satellite offices kumbaga ni DTI na nakakalat sa buong Philippines. In the case of NCR, meron tayo sa halos lahat ng city. I will be sharing the file ng directory sa inyo. Pero you can look at our FB page din, DTI National Capital Regional Office. Andun din naman po yung directory namin and saan may mga negosyo center. So you can already check, parang tingnan mo na saan yung pinakamalapit sa inyo so that kapag ready na po talaga kayo mag-register ng business name nyo, hindi na kayo dito parang masasayang yung oras kakahintay tapos nakakalimutan nyo yung BMBE, which is sayang po kasi na mention ni Sir Mon kanina, madaming benefits ang pag-register sa BMBE na tinatawag. Ayun po, dinadagsa pa po rin tayo ng questions, pero si Miss Janine, thank you Miss Janine ha sa pag-answer. Sabi niya po, everyone, you can send all of your questions sa TaxWiz PH app. Just download nyo lang po sa inyong mga phone para meron po kasi silang only chat doon na feature. So you can raise everything there. Yes po.
I'll try to answer yung mga nababasa ko ha para lang
Okay po.
get the answer right away.
Kahit 2 questions na lang sir para we have time for the next session po.
Yeah. Number 1 yung question na how do I register step by step? I'm not kidding. Yung logo na pinakita ko sa first slide, it's really the step. DTI, or SEC, then BIR, then the last one is the LGU or municipal or city hall. That's all. Unless you have a very sophisticated industry like yung kailangan pa ng Food and Drug Administration permit, etc., there will be other steps. But because of the ease of doing business, talagang 3 steps na lang siya dapat. So you do go to DTI for the business name, whether you avail of BMBE or not. DTI is the first. Then you go to BIR. Pero si BIR pwede nang isabay yung LGU or mayor's permit. That's it. So kung may impression kayo na sobrang haba ng steps or ang daming requirements, I think that's the reason why you're looking for a rigorous process, diba? And everything is online, even the forms you can access it already para makapag-decide kayo kagad or ma-prepare nyo siya. So I'm not kidding you. That's really what you need to do. Then, as I have mentioned, maraming discussions. You can just enroll to our modules. Hindi dahil ayokong ituro, mahaba siya. In fact, just to discuss VAT, it will take more than an hour. So, shortcut ko lang siya na VAT, ganun, para maikli. Pero seriously, it will misguide you, or I will mislead you if I say na in 1 hour you can be ready to take care of everything and register a business right now. Okay? Then, up to when is the BIR tax registration? If new MSME, may tax pa din ba or paano yun? Well, yung deadline na binigay ni BIR is actually for online seller na until last September 30. But seriously, ang idea kasi dyan is BIR will never know naman na you are registered unless you make the first step. At ano yung first step? Nag-DTI ka or SEC. So hanggat hindi ka nag-DTI or hanggat hindi ka nag-SEC, BIR will have no idea that you are doing a business. Unless, yung parang online business or ang laki na ng negosyo mo at meron kang supplier na winidholdan ka or in-inform si BIR at tinax map ka ni BIR na huli kang hindi registered. So, if you want to register DTI or SEC, then 30 days dapat makumpleto mo hanggang kay BIR. You can do simultaneous registration sa LGU or local government para sa mayor's permit. Kahit ba online, kailangan pa rin po yun? Yes, kasi wala naman tayong specific or special regulation for digital or online sellers. So same yung process. Ulitin ko po, kung hindi naman lalagpas sa 250,000 yung income, hindi sales income nyo, exempted naman siya sa income tax under the train law. So talagang you can register without necessarily paying income tax. Pero kung talagang ayaw mo muna magbayad ng income tax at maliit naman ang iyong puhunan or assets mo, apply for BMBE because that's allowed by law under Barangay Micro Business Enterprise. Then kung hindi ako manalo ng book, you can I think you can buy it sa Lazada or Shopee. But every week we give away the book. So if I were you, kung naka-online ka naman, just try so that you get a free copy of the book. I don't think you have to buy. I mean, the ABS-CBN is selling it. But as an advocate, I just try to learn as much as you can and no need to buy now.
Okay po. Again, for further questions, you may reach out to ACG through their social media and doon sa TaxWiz app nila. So medyo we have to move on na po kasi sa ating next session. So for this one, Sir Mon, thank you very much po. Kahit medyo madugo ang topic ninyo ay naging very entertaining pa din siya with all of the informative videos natin dyan. Thank you to ACG, the team, Janine, and everyone else involved sa team ninyo for attending, participating in this year's YEP. Thank you, Sir Mon.
Thank you very much, and
okay,
I hope you can really prepare to start your business. If not today, soon when you're ready. Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.
Okay, thank you po. Thank you po ulit. Sige.
Thank you, Sir Mon.
Medyo
Thank you so
madami
much.
po kayong questions na nakalista talaga. But we're really sorry kasi we have to stick to our program. Medyo na-late na tayo ng 20 minutes. So, let's move on to our third and last session. May nabasa pala ako again about sa FDA questions kasi another topic siya to delve into. So, mas maganda if you guys can email us sa ncr@dti.gov.ph and i-raise nyo lang po yung kahit anong question nyo dyan para naka-document lang po so that ma-assign namin sa appropriate na staff ng DTI NCRO. Kasi we also do assistance with FDA certifications, kahit ano pa yan, license to operate, etc. So again, DTI ncr at dti.gov.ph. So again, third session. We're on the last session for the day to give us ideas on what business opportunities to take advantage of during this difficult time. We have the final session titled Uncovering Business Opportunities Amidst COVID-19. So kanina, we were inspired by Sir George. Tapos, this second session natin, we were parang binalik tayo sa realidad ni Sir Mon with all of the legalities of starting your own business. But now for our third and last session, very exciting po kasi we will know or we will get ideas from the director of Startup Village, di ba? Pangalan pa lang, Startup Village. Mr. Carlo Edmond C. Calimon regarding sa opportunities na pwede pa rin nating ma-take advantage kahit na may pandemic tayo. The global health crisis caused definitely shook the MSME industry to the core. So in this webinar, we will help young entrepreneurs ignite their innovative minds and determine profitable opportunities they can consider venturing towards. So just an introduction, Mr. Carlo Edmund C. Calimon, after completing his BA degree in economics at Ateneo de Manila, Sir Carlo entered the Asian Institute of Management or AIM for his MBA degree where he majored in marketing and graduated on the Dean's List. Soon thereafter, he joined the Let's Go Foundation, a non-profit, non-stock organization advocating entrepreneurship. Currently, as mentioned earlier, he is the director of the said foundation. Aside from being an advocate of entrepreneurship, Sir Carlo is also an entrepreneur himself. Okay, so he's co-owner of several companies, mostly focused on innovation, training, food, and various services. So Mr. Carlo Calimon also won several awards. Rappler and Smart awarded him as the boss for mobile readiness during Be the Boss Awards in 2015. The World Marketing Congress recognized him as among one of the ah, as among, 100 most influential global marketers of the world in 2015, as well as included him in the best marketers listing in 2016. So he also went to New Zealand to take part of the Young Business Leaders Initiative, where he got a certificate from the University of Auckland. So international level since he was a finalist for the Global Social Venture Competition, a global business plan competition conducted by Hyderabad, India. Also, he is part of the group that won venture capital investment from the MVP group through the Ideascape Foundation. Lastly, Sir Carlo is also an educator. So, Sir Carlo Edmund Calimon previously taught entrepreneurship in the Asian Institute of Management or AIM through the VIE program. Nagturo din po siya sa Assumption College, sa De La Salle University, and sa Ateneo de Manila University Graduate School of Business. He is also a trainer, a mentor, and an angelpreneur of Go Negosyo, which allows him to reach, and spread entrepreneurship to more people around the country. His topics of focus are mindsetting, visioning, product development, digital marketing, and marketing innovation, and more. Sir Carlo is also a global mentor of Google Launchpad, as well as the Amen Pioneer Mentor, which is the ASEAN Mentorship for Entrepreneurs Network, thus allowing him to share his expertise to other people in the global level. He has been tapped by various organizations, including US Stride, USAID, the DOST, DTI, to teach and mentor the next generation of change makers, scientists, and innovators around the country. He continues his advocacy by guiding and mentoring entrepreneurs, especially startups in Startup Village, the newest incubator/accelerator in the Philippines, where he is the co-founder and president. So let's all welcome Mr. Carlo C. Calimon. Sir Carlo, are you here? Good
Yes, I
afternoon
am.
to sir.
Thank you. Good afternoon sa lahat. Kamusta po kayo? I believe it's been a long day for everybody. Tama pa? Can everybody hear me clearly? Malinaw ba ako?
Yes po.
Alright, just wanted to
Yes,
make sure.
sir.
So let me share my screen, and while I'm doing that, kamusta naman? How is everybody? Lots of learning for today. You started your session at 10 a.m., right? And I will be the last one for the day. Tama ba?
Yes po. Last one po. 3
Okay.
sessions tayo
So
every
I'm
day.
happy
Yes po.
that everybody is still here. Why? Because everybody is eager to learn. Now, well, I am fortunate to be here, but also unfortunate. Bakit? Kasi I am tasked to be your last speaker today, and at the same time, ako yung speaker nyo sa medyo alanganin na oras. Right? Kung saan maraming inaantok kasi medyo merienda time na. So, dadalian ko ng konti para mabusog kayo sa additional na knowledge and information. All right? So let me start. So I'm happy to be here. Maraming salamat sa ating mga kaibigan from DTI and from the Young Entrepreneurs Program for allowing me to be your speaker for this afternoon. And I'll be talking about uncovering business opportunities amidst COVID-19. Maraming paraan tulad ng sinabi ni George kanina para makahanap tayo ng mga opportunities. But let me focus on a few new ones, all right? Or some techniques that can actually help you discover these opportunities. As was mentioned, I've been doing this for the past 15 years already. I started teaching and doing this at a young age after graduate school. I've been all over the Philippines. I'm proud to say that nakaabot na ako ng tawi-tawi para lang magturo ng entrepreneurship. Right? And as was mentioned, diba, since we walk the talk, I'm also an entrepreneur myself. I'm also a mentor for Google and Amazon Web Services, AWS, for those na nakakalam niyo, mga techie dyan. So I've been privileged to have been able to mentor not just startups in the Philippines, but also all over the world. So I've been able to mentor some startups in Silicon Valley and San Francisco, Indonesia, Myanmar, and even in Singapore. Okay? So throughout the years, I have been fortunate enough, and as mentioned, I won an award. But the award was to me something that was just an add-on. But what was I was happy about was the prize. And what was the prize? I was able to go to all of these different companies, right? And I drew inspiration from these visits that allowed me to go back every year. In fact, I started organizing Silicon Valley immersion trips before the pandemic. To be upfront, because of the pandemic, I had to cancel 5 trips this year, 2 of which would have been in Silicon Valley. Right? And kung titingnan natin lahat ng pinuntahan ko, whether it's Facebook, whether it's Google, whether it's Pinterest, Twitter, and so on, may isang common factor, right? And a lot of these organizations were founded by an entrepreneur. And the ecosystem, the surrounding areas around Silicon Valley was very inspirational towards the development of entrepreneurs. In fact, the more I visited, the more techniques, the more ideas I had, the more opportunities I found. Now, to set the floor, right, to get everybody on the same track, I just want to to go back to the definition of what an entrepreneur is, right? And to me, this is my favorite definition. So, an entrepreneur is someone who builds a business enterprise and introduces a pioneering product or service to the market. Take note, pioneering product or service, bagong-bago. He is an innovator. He does not copy another person's idea, but innovates to make things better. Ika nga, ang mindset natin is palaging angat. Right? Iaangat natin. Kung existing na yung produkto, paano pa natin ito pagagandahin? Paano natin ito mapapaganda pa? Dapat ganon yung mindset natin. And I believe Sir George talked about that this morning. Right? Now, I just wanted to emphasize that. Bakit? Kasi it will help us with the proper mindset come up with and spot the best opportunities out there for us. Okay? Now, this is my favorite. I always say this whenever I teach. Right? Can everybody read it at the same time? Pwede ba kayo mag-unmute kahit saglit lang? Pwede ba mag-unmute yung mga tao? Tapos
Okay, sir.
basahin ng sabay-sabay? Right? Sige lang nga, para
Yes, you
papagising
can
nyo.
unmute po. Yan.
Ayun.
Okay.
Ready? 2, 3.
Ang nakakakita ng di nakikita ang siyang kikita.
Okay, good try yun. Bakit? Baka nagalag yung internet nyo. O sige, one more time. Bibilang ako. Gusto ko sabay-sabay. Mas madali to, syempre, kapag hindi virtual. Pero since virtual tayo, kailangan pagtugma natin kahit pa paano. Konting piece lang. 1, 2, 3.
Ang nakakakita ng iba ay siyang kikita.
Okay, good try. Pwede na rin. Ang nakakita,
Ang siyang kikita.
yun, di pa habol. Very good. O sige, babasahin ko ha. Ang nakakakita, hindi nakikita ng iba ang siyang kikita. In other words, the one who sees the opportunity first is the one who will succeed. Agree, disagree? Agree or disagree? Okay.
Agree ako dyan.
Okay, very good. Now, I will put something, I will show some pictures and I want you to answer or post your answer in the chat box. Okay? I will test how good you are at spotting opportunities. Remember, ang nakakita, hindi nakikita ng iba ang siyang kikita. I will show you some pictures and I just want you to tell me how many images you see. Simple lang ilan ba ang inyong nakikita? Okay? Unang-una, sinong nakakita ng isa? Pakilagay sa chat box, isa. Sinong nakakita ng dalawa? Pakilagay sa chat box. Right? Isa. Sino nakakita ng isa? Sino nakakita ng dalawa? Yung gusto manghula, pwedeng tatlo ang ilagay ninyo. Yung walang makita, pwedeng pikit na lang ng konti. Okay? Right? Sige, I'll give you a little bit more time. Pampagising din to para mabuhayan ang ating mga utak. Right? I want to get you involved as much as I can. Wow, 5, 3. Okay. Sige, sabihin ko na. 2 lang po ang nasa litrato. Yan. Right? Ano nakikita nung nakita ng 2? Isang bata at saka isang matanda. Alright? Okay. Ito medyo mas madali ng konti. Right? Ito yung isang mas madali ng konti. Sino nakakita ng isa? Pakilagay sa chat box. Sino nakakita ng 2? Pakilagay din sa chat box. Right? Sige nga. Ito mas madali ng konti. Right? Sige. Very good. 2 po ang nasa litratong yan. Ano yung nakikita ninyo? Diba? Yung ulo, right? At saka yung Eskimo na nakatalikod. Diba? Very good. Okay. Ito, last. Medyo mahirap-hirap ng konti. Right? Pakilagay lang, 1 o 2 sa chat box. Yan. Sige nga. Mas mahirap ng konti. I will give you a little bit of time. Sige, tingnan nyo maigi. Sinong nakakita ng 1? Sinong nakakita ng 2? Naku, yung nagsabi ng 2, 3, mukhang naduduling na yata kayo. Kailangan na magmerienda. Anong oras na ba? Wala pa namang 3:30. Pwede, 1 lang ang nasa litratong yan. Gusto niyo malaman kung sino nasa litratong yan? Ang pangalan niya ay si Henry Ford. Kilala niyo si Henry Ford? Sino si Henry Ford? Siya ang may-ari ng Ford. Right? Anong sinabi ni Henry Ford? If I had asked my customers what they wanted, they would have said, a faster horse. Bakit yan sinabi ni Henry Ford? Ano ba yung mode of transportation noong panahon ni Henry Ford? Di ba yung horse-drawn carriages? Di ba? And sabi ni Henry Ford, hindi ko na kayang pabilisin pa yung kabayo. So, ano yung nakita ni Henry Ford na hindi pa nakikita ng iba? Sabi niya, paano kung tanggalin ko na lang yung kabayo? Right? So what do you have? You have the modern day automobile. Ang nakakakita, hindi nakikita ng iba, ang siyang kikita. Alright? So you have to open your eyes and spot all of these opportunities because there are a lot of opportunities happening around us, especially during these times. During these times of COVID, or as we say, right, kapag marami tayong problema, that's actually the time when we want to start a business. Kaya nga sabihan namin sa startup community, don't just start a business, solve a problem. Bakit natin sinabi yun? I'll explain in a while. Alright? As Sir George mentioned, we are in a time of crisis. Correct? The COVID is a pandemic. It has brought a global crisis to our homes. Right? Now, why am I talking about crisis? Diba? The Philippines is a land filled with crisis. Now, we asked our Chinese friends, and they told us that these two characters represented crisis in their language. Right? When you translate these two characters, right, into English, it stands for way, and the other character stands for chi. Basahin nyo nga in your own places. Wei chi, right? So what does this tell us?
Wage.
Right. Oh, yun. Thank you. Right. What does this tell us? That when there is crisis, there is danger, but there is
Opportunity.
also opportunity. Right. The challenge with us Filipinos is that what? When we see that there is a crisis, what do we see first? We see the danger first. Bakit? Praning kasi tayo. We are afraid. But they also told us, our Chinese friends told us that when you reverse the characters, pareho pa rin ang ibig sabihin yan. Chi-wei, right? Chi-wei. So what does this tell us? If we look at the opportunities that come with the crisis, wouldn't we have a better perspective? Di ba yung mindset natin mag-iiba? Mag-iiba yung pananaw natin whenever we see all of these things, bad things happening to us, problems that are happening around us. Di ba? Iba yung mentality ng entrepreneur. Palaging entrepreneur, ganito ang pag-iisip. Kung iba takot, siya hinaharap yung takot niya. Right? Example, do you remember the time of SARS? Right? You may have been a little bit too young during those times. Sorry, it shows my age. Right? But the time of SARS, everybody was afraid. Right? Similar ang SARS, pareho na nangyayari ngayong COVID. Right? In fact, nung panahon ng SARS, ganito rin. People were afraid of crowded places. Tulad ngayon. Right? Umiiwas ang mga tao sa pagpunta sa mga mall, sa mga tindahan, and so on. Pero hindi kasing tagal ngayon. Right? Because everybody was afraid of getting sick. Takot na takot lahat ng mga tao. In the same fashion, right? People tried to avoid international travel. Bakit? Kasi ayaw nilang ma-quarantine. In fact, ngayon lang naging ganito. Panahon ng SARS, right? Hindi naman ganito ka-drastic o talagang walang flights at all. Dati meron pa rin. Iwas lang talaga. Right? And people were afraid of tourists. Makita lang ng singkit, right? Hindi racist na, umiiwas. Right? Hindi na alam, Bisaya pala, Bicolano pala yung kanilang nakita. Kabilang barangay lang. Ganun po tayo kapraning. But not everybody was afraid during these times. On the chat box, anong produkto mabenta ng panahon ng SARS? Right? Anong mga produkto mabenta ng panahon ng SARS? Face mask, very good. Right? Pareho ngayon. Na so much so, nung unang dumating si SARS, ano nangyari? People were buying face masks left and right. Na ultimo, pati yung mga face mask na may mga disenyo, may mga kiss mark, may mga smiley face, na dati hindi mo mabenta, all of a sudden sold out. Ano pang produkto mabenta ng panahon ng SARS? Alcohol, yes. Pero ano yung bagong innovation ng panahon ng SARS na nakagawian na natin actually ngayon? Ang tawag ko doon is hand sanitizer, mga alcohol, mga alcohol. Yun po ang mabenta ng panahon ng SARS. In fact, I remember my friend, ang kwento niya sa amin, he even received a call from McDonald's Singapore. Ang sabi sa kanya, sir, pwede ba kayong gumawa ng hand sanitizer, ng alcohol, pero pakilagay nyo nga sa sachet pack. Di ba kasi tayo, Pilipino, sachet economy tayo, di ba? Mahilig tayo sa sachet. So bakit? Ang gusto ni McDonald's Singapore, bawat bili mo ng pagkain nila, may kasama siyang alcohol gel. Right? Anong reaction ng kaibigan ko? Ang ganda ng ngiti niya. Bakit? Kasi ang laki ng opportunity. Ang sabi niya ganun, sir, kayang-kaya ka yan. Ingat lang kayo kasi baka mapagkamalan yung ketchup, yung alcohol gel. Baka malagay nyo sa inyong burger. Right? But the opportunity is not just local, but it was bigger. Right? So he was happy during a time of crisis. Question. The entrepreneurs who saw all of these opportunities during a time of crisis, they were very happy because things were going well for business. Are they bad people? Di po ba? Hindi naman. Bakit? Kasi tumutulong sila sa inyo. They are helping solve a problem. Right? They are helping solve a problem and they came up with an appropriate solution. Right? So not everybody was afraid because these products, right, were solving our problems on a day-to-day basis. Right? But you'll tell me, sir, paano yan? Kung mawala na yung crisis, does that mean patay ng negosyo? No. Because think of it, from SARS alone, right, there were so many opportunities that remained. Because of SARS, people became more aware about proper hygiene and sanitation. After SARS, people started carrying their own alcohol, and so on. In fact, nag-evolve na si alcohol. Dati, isang amoy lang yan, isang lalagyan. Ngayon, iba't ibang container, iba't ibang amoy, iba't ibang kulay, and so on. Better than it was before. So these are the opportunities that entrepreneurs see. They want to continuously innovate and make things better. Right? And because of SARS also, people started traveling more around the Philippines. Kaya nga nauso yung mga seat sale and so on. Right? And people started becoming more health conscious. It's a totally different industry and it continued after SARS was gone. Now, if you look at it from a more personal level, you actually call this crisis, parang personal crisis natin, ang equivalent nun ay irritants. Ano ba yung mga kinaiinisan natin sa buhay natin? What do I mean? I'll give you an example. Take a look at this picture. Right? Very old picture. Actual cutout from a newspaper. But see how entrepreneurial these kids are. Right? Anong ginagawa nila kapag umuulan? Di ba? Ang ginagawa nila, naghahanap sila ng pira-pirasong kahoy at gumagawa sila ng mga tulay. At dun sa tabi ng tulay nila, anong ginagawa nila? Nakataas ang kamay. Why? Tip number 1. People are willing to pay to solve their irritants. People will freely pay to solve their irritants. Why? Ano ba yung kinaiinisan ni Kuya? Di ba, kinaiinisan ni Kuya yung baha, madumi. Right? May lakad pa siya, baka mukhang may sakit. Right? Baka magkasakit pa kung niya yung baha. Pero tinan nyo to, kusa siyang nagbabayad para masolusyonan ang kanyang problema. Napansin niyo mga bata, hindi naman hinahara si Kuya para magbayad, di ba? Kusa siyang nagbabayad because people are willing to pay to have their irritants solved. Don't forget that. That's tip number 1. Okay? So ask yourself that question. What irritates you? Right? And there are so many opportunities just from this. And mas lalo na ngayon sa panahon nito, ang daming irritants na lumilitaw. So we asked our friend the same question. At ito yung naging sagot niya. Right? Ano yung kinaiinisan ng kaibigan namin? Kinaiinisan niya dirty public toilets. Okay, question. Kung kayo ay abutan at ganito ang banyo na aabutan ninyo, gagamitin nyo? These are actual pictures of a bathroom sa MRT station. Kung kayo ay abutan at ganito yung banyo na abutan ninyo, gagamitin nyo o hindi? Malamang hindi. Bakit? Kasi kadiri eh. Anong gagawin nyo? Maghahanap kayo ng ibang banyo, kahit na maglakad kayo, mukha kayong penguin, di ba? Titiisin ninyo. Bakit? Kasi kadiri naman talaga yung banyong ganyan. Pero paano yung banyo nyo ganito? Air condition, malinis, maaliwalas, right? May toilet paper, may sabon, kompleto. Right? Pero may naniningil sa pintuan. Naniningil 5 piso. Sino magbabayad? Right? Sino magbabayad? Taas ang kamay. Sige nga, raise your hands. Raise your hands. Sa mga naka-on ng video, makita ko kung sino magbabayad. Hoy, mga lalaki, magtaas kayo ng kamay niyo, ha? Mahiya kayo. Kaya umaasim ang mga nyog at bumibigay mga pader. Ha? Okay. Tip number 1, I said, people are willing to pay to have their irritants solved. Tip number 2, if there are a lot of people who share the same irritant and are willing to pay to solve that irritant, what do you have? You have potential customers. Right? That's your market. Right? Dapat lang marami sila and a lot of them are willing to pay. Right? Excuse me. And take note, not everybody is willing to pay. Right? So you look for people, look for your customers that share that same irritant and are willing to pay to solve that irritant. Dapat sufficient po yung bilang nila. Right? Kailangan i-mathematically compute natin. Napkin economics, how many ang revenue? Excuse me, magkano po ang kikitain natin? At dahil nagtaas kayo ng kamay, lahat kayo ay naging customer ng Banyo Incorporated, ng Jollibee, ng paid public toilet. Now, tuloy ko lang yung kwento ko. Right? Sabi namin, sige nga, mukhang okay yung idea mo ah. Pag-aralan mo nga, i-research mo nga. So, ginawa niya, nag-Google siya. So, be sure, when you have an idea, make sure to test it and to do research. Right? Because the opportunity may not just be here in the Philippines. The opportunity may be much, much bigger. So, ano gano'n kaibigan namin? Sige, search siya. Dirty public toilet. Sinerch siya sa internet. Aba, nagulat kami. Ang haba ng listahan na lumabas. So, sabi na, sige, research ka muna. Okay. Research. Pagbalik, sir, papaalam ako. Bakit? Ano meron? Sir, pupunta pa ako ng Singapore. Ano meron sa Singapore? Sir, may conference po. Anong conference? Conference sa mga taong galit sa maduduming public toilet. Ha? Sigurado ka ba? Baka binabola mo lang kami. Gusto mo na magbakasyon, no? Right? So anyway, biyahe siya. Pagkabalik niya, nakita kami ulit. Oh, kamusta ang lakad mo? Aba, ang ganda ng ngiti niya. Sir, okay na okay yung conference. Bakit? Sir, all of the countries were present. US, Canada, Japan, China, Korea, Vietnam, UK, Australia, New Zealand, Russia, and so on. All of the countries were present. Ganun pala eh. Ba't ang ganda ng ngiti mo? Sir, ako lang yung galing sa Pilipinas. Ang nakakakita, hindi nakikita ng iba ang siyang kikita. Right? In fact, not only were all the countries present, they were well represented. Right? What do I mean? Government officials, private corporations, private individuals, NGOs, right? The public sector, everybody was there. Why? Because tip number 3, people are willing to work together to solve an irritant. In fact, think of it as co-opetition, as we call it, right? But that is significant. Why? Because it shows that other people are looking into the opportunity. That's why doing your research online is important, because sa dinami-dami ng tao sa mundong ito, most likely somebody may have thought about the same idea, right? Or may have even tried, may have failed, right? But you can learn from all of these other people, right? At dahil doon sa biyaheng yun, nabuo ang Restroom Association of the Philippines. And I'm happy to tell you that I am a director of the Restroom Association of the Philippines. We're always looking for volunteers. The volunteers, we all call you rappers. Right? And we even give out awards. Kung may Emmys, may FAMAS, meron kaming Troy Awards. Toilet Recognition of the Year Award. Right? Now, baka isipin nyo, binubola ko kayo. Right? Tingnan nyo to. In 2002, it was formed. Tingnan mo yung mga members, American Standard, Kimberly-Clark, competing companies that would work together to solve an irritant. Right? Now, si Banyo King, right, yung aking co-founder, right, he even went, right, to Korea to attend the World Toilet Summit organized by the WTO, not by the World Trade Organization, but by the World Toilet Organization. In fact, a couple of years ago, just to share with you, Banyo King, ako Banyo Prince na lang, right, opened his newest toilet. It was located in Park and Ride in, what do you call this, in Manila, right, near the City Hall. Would you believe that toilet earned 15,000 pesos a day net? And ang highest na nineneto niya, 30,000 pesos a day. ROI niya was in a span of 4 months. Ngayon sasabihin niyo sa akin, sir, luma na yung concept ng paid toilets. Oo, luma na nga siya. Luma na rin naman yung example ko. Kaya makita niyo naman, 2002 pa. So what is the new innovation? So dapat ganun ang mindset natin. How can we make things better? Right? Before the pandemic, Banyo Inc. was supposed to release this application. Yoban, right? Locating public restrooms made easy. Now, why is that? Kasi we have all of these technologies. Right? What if you're, as a customer, you as a user, already knew the nearest public restroom that you can use whenever you need it? Hindi ka na yung pupunta dito, ay ang pangit, pupunta ba dito, ay pangit. Search mo na lang sa app mo. Now, who is the customer of this app? Right? Ang customer po niya primarily turista. Bakit? Kasi naggawa ng survey si Banyo Inc. at nalaman nila na ang turista, 3 T ang kinaiinisan. Terrorism, traffic, and toilet. Right? So, pagpunta pa lang dito, alam mo na kagad sa isang lugar, I need to go to the toilet, just download the app and you find it. So, you're already using, right, the modern technology, whatever is available now, and converting that into a realistic product. Kailangan lang diskubrihin kung paano po tayo kikita. Alright? Everybody's okay? So constantly and continuously innovate. Make things better than they were before. Right? And tulad na sinabi ni George, you have to make sure, right, that you find your unique selling proposition. What will make it different from everybody else? I will go through the same process with you. This was one of my business. Right? Ano yung irritant ko? Simple lang. Maduduming kotse. So, ano yung negosyo pwede kong simulan? Simple lang. Car wash. Pero remember, entrepreneur tayo. We want to innovate. We want to level up. We want to change the rules of the game. So, ano ang innovation na pwede kong gawin sa car wash? Sabi ko, what if ayoko na ng traditional na car wash? Gusto ko yung environmentally friendly at ayokong gumamit ng tubig. So, we started a waterless car wash business. And how did we do that? We imported wax and clay-based solutions from the US and Australia. Spray and wipe po siya. Walang kalat and so on. But more importantly, we don't only clean your car. We also protect the paint of your car. So what makes us different? Waterless kami. But what is our value proposition? What makes us angat sa iba? Is it just the waterless car wash? Or is it better that we also protect the paint of your car? Siyempre, di ba, mas maganda yung paint protection. So people were coming to us because we were better, right, and provided more value. Ingat po kayo. When you're thinking about an opportunity, hanapin niyo po yung ang tinatawag natin yung wag yung vitamin. Hanapin niyo yung aspirin. Ano yung pagkakaiba ng aspirin at saka vitamin? Di ba ang vitamin, kapag nakalimutan mong inumin, ano nangyayari? Sabi mo, ay bukas na lang, babawi na lang ako bukas. Pero ang aspirin, right, kapag hindi mo inumin ngayon, mararamdaman mo yung sakit. So look for a pain point, a problem that is really painful, such that your customers will always look for that aspirin. Yes, because Ray, tama ka. It's a painkiller. It kills the pain. So the solution that you have should not just be a vitamin. Ano yung vitamin? Ay, cute. Right? Novelty. Hanapin nyo yung nakakatanggal ng sakit. Right? Eh ngayon, sa panahon ngayon, maraming masakit, di ba? So hanapin natin, buksan natin yung mga mata natin for this. Remember, it's all about being Are you nearer? Are you faster? Are you cheaper? Not cheaper, more affordable, and are you better than everybody else? Wag lang yung cute, right? But take note, there are products na cute sa iba, pero aspirin sa iba. Kailangan hanapin nyo yung customer na iniisip doon sa produkto ninyo, aspirin. Bakit? Kasi kailangan nila. Right? For example, sino mahilig sa milk tea? Right? Hindi naman lahat ng tao mahilig sa milk tea. Pero may mga taong, Pumipila ng 2-3 oras para lang makakuha ng milk tea. Sino ang bebentahan mo? Eh di syempre yung may gustong-gusto yung pipila ng 2 oras. Hindi mo customer yung di gusto yung milk tea mo. So you have to focus on the right group of customers. Now another opportunity, right, that you need to take advantage of is going digital. Because of the pandemic, ang daming opportunities using technology. Right? Why? Why is that? What has changed? What does the 21st century family look like? Doesn't the 21st century family look something like this? Sino ang ganyan? Ngayon pa lang nga, nagda-lecture ako, maraming ganyan ang mukha. Right? And pustahan tayo. Yan sa bahay, ganyan din kayo. Hindi na kayo nag-uusap, chat-chat na lang kayo sa mga kasama ninyo sa bahay. Eh paano yung mga nagtatrabaho, yung mga workers? Di ba ganito rin ang mukha nila? Yung multiple gadgets, hindi matanggal ang mata sa screen ng kanilang gadget. Right? Nakatutok. Umamin kayo, sino ang nauntog na tisod na tapa? Kasi nakatutok ang mata sa cellphone. Umamin. Ha? Ako, inaamin ko, nauntog na tapa na ako. Minsan solid pa nga. Bakit? I'm focused on my phone. Right? Eh, how about the 21st century customer? What do they look? What do they look like? Don't they look something like this? Ganun din. Nakatutok ang mga mata sa kanilang mga gadget. Right? In fact, the 21st century customer is more like this now. Diba? Hindi makalabas ng bahay kahit na gusto. Kung lumalabas man, balot na balot. Bakit? Everybody is afraid of getting sick. Right? So what has happened? Why is the 21st century family, worker, and customer like this? First is because even before the pandemic, everybody has been mobile. If you would look at it, people move around a lot. Right? Kung saan-saan umaabot, pero kahit saan po pwede magtrabaho. And that's what technology gives us. Everybody's networked. Right? We all are a part of a network or a group or a community. We're all part, kahit na isa o dalawa, alam kung saan tayo, meron kayong affiliation. Eh, ang YEP pa lang is already a network that you belong to. Right? And we are all connected in one form or another. Our connections, right? Our connections are very short. Konting ano lang, may kilala ng ganito, may kilala ng ganyan. We're all connected. Right? In fact, that is what social media gives us. The ability to connect with each other. Dati, mahanap lang yung kaibigan, yung kamag-anak, happy na ngayon. Lahat na, add mo ko as a friend in the various social networks that we belong to. But at the same time, we've become more social. Right? In fact, the customer of today's world is different in what sense? Because of social media, ano nangyari sa atin? Naging KSP tayo, right? KSP, kulang sa pansin, at naging mga chismoso at chismosa tayo. Bakit? Because we keep on checking our social media, right? Because we want to find out what's happening to everybody else. Kaya chismosa, chismosa. But KSP, why? Because we keep on posting and sharing and so on, what's going on. Naalala ko dati, ang daming mga kwento, di ba? This is me waking up. This is me eating. Oh, this is me doing this. This is me doing that. Why? Because kulang sa pansin. And funny thing is people are watching what we're doing, liking and sharing and so on. Right? But these are the realities of the world today. Correct? Postahan tayo, sino sa inyo nag-post na ng status message ninyo today? Sino na nag-like ng picture ng kaibigan ninyo today? Huh? Why? Because that's the new behavior today. And we all want instant access to everything. We want everything to be accessible, right? In fact, we want things now than later. We have lost patience. To a certain degree, the customer has become spoiled. Ang taas ng expectation ng ating mga customers sa mga negosyo now. But at the same time, we do things ourselves. Right? We do things ourselves. We do our own research. We do our own online purchases. Whether before it was travel, now it's all of these online transactions that we're doing. We find things on our own. We don't even bother to ask. The only ones we ask are who? We ask Alexa and Google. Correct? And we're always on. Sige nga, matanong ko sa inyo. Sino sa inyo nagpapatay ng cellphone bago? Si Siri nga. Sorry, Ray. Nakalimutan ko si Siri. Siri, answer this question for me. But yes. But sino sa inyo nagpapatay ng cellphone bago matulog? Or do you actually turn off your cell phones? Hindi counted yung nawala ng baterya, ha? Right? Nobody turns off their cell phones anymore. In fact, sino sa inyo, in the middle of the night, natutulog na kayo, bigla kayo nagising. Tapos ang gagawin nyo, sisilipin nyo yung cellphone nyo, nakahiga kayong ganyan. Right? Bakit? FOMO kayo. Fear of missing out. Kasi nag-aalala kayo na baka may nag-text. Right? May nag-text, may nag-message, may nag-post. Baka ma-miss out ko. Right? In fact, habang naganyan kayo, sino sa inyo nalaglagan ng cellphone sa mukha? Kasi antok-antok pa at nabagsakan dahil naghahanap ako ng posting sa aking cellphone. Solid, minsan masakit sa ilong yun, ha? But nobody really turns their phones or gadgets off anymore, right? It is always turned on. And that is the new behavior. But at the same time, right, the customers have become more meticulous. They're always looking for something that is valuable. No more trial. Gusto nila good reviews and good ratings. Correct? Because we all want a great experience. And it's normal for customers to always want this great experience. Right? Masakit, Jenalyn, no? Babagsak ka ng cellphone sa mukha. Alright. Kahit na naka-airplane mode ka, pero kung naka-on naman yung wifi mo, ganun din. Wala man nagme-message, pero yung social media nyo naman, naka-on. Ganun din. Paano pag bogus reviews? Babalance yan. Hindi lang naman lahat ng reviews, di ba? Tinitingnan nyo yung mga accurate din naman kapani-paniwala. Or, as I will share later, I'll show you why. Now, why is that happening? Because shift has happened. It is not happening, but it has happened. What do we mean? Because of technology nowadays, right? And technology is continuously evolving. We're trying to adapt. Right? In fact, our gadgets are more powerful than it has ever been. And it continues to become more powerful and more powerful on a daily basis. Right? And there are more innovations coming up. And that is a challenge to you. Right? Because you and your generation will be the source of all of these new technological breakthroughs. Why? Because your expectations as customer has increased. And technology adoption has become much faster. Right? Tignan nyo yung adoption lang. Ang bilis na yun. Why? Because of the technology within our grasps. Now, these are all important points. Why? Remember, this is the world you live in now. Right? If you don't ride the wave, your business will perish. Kaya may kasabihan kami sa startup world, pivot or perish. You have to be able to change the direction quickly and innovate and level up, or else your business will die. Mapag-iiwanan po siya. Why? Because innovation has changed customer behavior. Right? But before this, mas mabilis na ngayon ang adoption sa innovation. Why? Because companies are transforming primarily because of COVID. Why is that? Because it's all about trust, convenience, and now it's all about safety. And now is really the time. Why? Because tingnan nyo, tulad ng sinabi ngayong umaga, look at the statistics. We have 110 million people in the Philippines. 159% have mobile phones. 73 million on social media. And everybody has their own gadget. But take note, we have one of the youngest populations in the world at 25.7. What does that mean? If you start a business now using technology, being digital, and looking and taking advantage of the digital space, it is easier for you to gather customers. But you have to spot the opportunities that are relevant to them. Right? If you look at it also, we spend so much time on the internet. Hindi ko alam kung addiction lang yan o baka dahil mabagal ng internet natin, tinatsaga natin. But people spend so much time, especially in social media. And now, the numbers on e-commerce, right, are increasing as well. And a lot of sellers are using this channel to sell relevant, right? But great products to a growing audience. Why? Because people will now shop online. And the next frontier is the cell phone. Because now, more than ever, we are using our gadgets and our phones, right? And using it in a variety of ways. So, what do we do on our phones? We do everything on our phones, as in everything, right? And our customers are shopping, right? There is an opportunity in selling something that's relevant to them, but using the digital space. So, what am I trying to say? The digital space can be a channel, it can be a tool, but it can be a product for you as well. So take advantage of these opportunities. Why? Because if businesses are not on the are not on the internet and are not utilizing technology, these are the guys who will be out of business. Right? And e-commerce is a major wave. Right? It's a major channel for you guys to consider because there are a lot of opportunities there. But take note, ang importante is relevance. Right? Relevance. If you look at it, people are spending on more practical things now. Practical, but obviously practical things that make them happy. These products, these solve a problem. Right? So for example, right? And ito a very specific example. This is the company of one of our friends. They started this during the pandemic. Right? Ang pangalan Lola Move. And yung binibenta niya, ready to eat, ready to cook, very simple food. Ang produkto lang niya, chicharon, embutido, longganisa. But very traditional, right? Na parang comfort food ika nga ang positioning. Alam niyo ba ang ginawa na nila? Very specialized, very traditional yung recipe. Masarap, right? It was formed actually by a 68-year-old retiree who wanted to help the church. She doesn't need the money, but she wanted to be busy nitong pagkakulong nila during COVID. Right? So nagtayo sila sa tulong ng kanyang apo at saka mga anak, nagtayo ng Facebook page, right? And started selling there. What they did was they created a system to make sure that the fulfillment was there, right? They leveled up their product, made sure ang positioning, homemade comfort food. Bin mo longganisa lang, embutido, chicharon, right? Ready to cook, ready to eat. Very simple, especially during the times. Biro mo, na-feature pa sa dyaryo. So what opportunity can you find, right, using during these times? What's the next step for you? Obviously, one is embrace digital tools. I don't think you will have much of a problem here. Why? Because you are digital natives. This is the generation and the lives that you were born with, right? Play with it, tinker with it, immerse yourself and learn. Search, i-Google nyo, i-research niyo, talk to other people, test those ideas, right? And tap into the energies that your customers bring. But more importantly, intindihin niyo yung customer ninyo, right? And maximize the use of technology in our daily lives. And there is an opportunity there. Remember, right? Remember to strive to something that is bigger and better than you were before. Spot opportunities in time of crisis. Huwag niyong iisipin yung danger. Unahin niyo yung opportunity. Chi Wei, ika nga. Right? Rather than Wei Chi. Right? So before I end, I would like to wish you all a life filled with crisis. Sana marami kayong crisis na na-encounter sa buhay ninyo. Sana marami. Right? Kasi kung nakikinig kayo, alam ninyo that I want you to find and spot more opportunities during these times. Right? And remember, ang nakakakita na di nakikita ng iba, ang siyang kikita. Alright? So if you want to learn more, I particularly, my business, my organization, Startup Village, we help startups, right? By educating them and mentoring them from ground zero up to the point of pitching to potential investors and partners. So if you want or if you need help, please look for us on Facebook, www.facebook.com/startupvillageph. Or look for me, Mentor Carlo Calimon on Facebook, right? And I'd be happy to answer your questions. All right? So with that, maraming salamat po. And like what I said, ang nakakakita, yan din nakikita ng iba ang siyang kikita. All right? So with that, maraming salamat po. And
Ayan.
good luck on your entrepreneurial journeys.
Thank you, Sir Carlo, for that wonderful talk talaga. Kasi ngayon ko lang din narinig actually yun eh. Hanapin mo yung mga nakakairita sa life. Doon mo mahanap yung opportunity nga talaga. Again, we have time pa naman, sir. I
Sure.
think kaya pa bang ng cater ng konting questions? 2 to 3 questions po. Nako,
Yes.
i-take advantage nyo na to na live si sir makakasagot ng inyong question. If you have mga specific question on business opportunities nga dito sa topic ni sir, like sa experience niya, just i-chat nyo lang siya or raise your hand. This is your time to shine. We will be accepting 2 to 3 questions.
Yes, please. Take advantage of the time. Diba? As young entrepreneurs, don't worry, this isn't something you should be afraid of. Right? We're here to help you out, right? And share what we know. So,
yan po.
wow, good to see some of my friends all the way from Zamboanga. Thank you.
Feeling ko, sir, yung nakuha talaga nila is more on inspiration. Ayan, may tanong tayo, free po ba ang training for the startup? Opo,
Actually,
about
we do charge a small fee. Why? Kasi napansin namin, kapag yung mga taong, what they call this, libre ang hinahanap, hindi nila binavalue. So we charge a small fee, right? And just that pays for all of our speakers. Just to share with you, we've had celebrity students who have gone through, kilala niyo ba yung pangalang, Catriona Gray? Yan, si Catriona, naging estudyante namin yan bago siya naging Miss Universe. Sino pa ba? Si Max Collins, kilala niyo ba? Yan, mga naging estudyante namin yan. So, what do you call this? Hindi mo malalaman kung sino yung pwede mong maging kaklase. Right? So
okay.
Yes, we do charge,
Actually,
pero very lang. Kasi we want to make sure that you invest in. Pansin namin kasi kapag ka libre, minsan palaging absent. Pero yung nagbayad, palaging present.
Correct.
In fact, kapag nag-absent, palagi na makeup class.
Ayun po kasi, very, meron daw siyang business canvas na i-present by 20 October. So you are seeking help from Sir Carlo. So you can contact Sir Carlo. Ayun yan po yung mga contact details nila. We have another question. How do you see the business trend in the next 3 years? Okay, 3 years ha? After? Since matagal pa po mawala ang virus. Correct, may chance nga talaga na matagal pa to.
Ako, business trends, mostly the goods that are online, things that are relevant to this day and age, and things that people will make people happy. Napansin niyo yung mga makeup, yung mga ganyan, people want to feel good pa din. Right? Kasi masyadong uncertain yung mundo ngayon. So, I think that there is a big market for relevant and things that will make you smile and feel good about yourself. Right? Napansin nyo, di ba yung mga milk tea, yung mga ganyan, mabenta pa din. Bakit? Kasi it makes people happy. Right? So look for something.
Correct. And parang napapansin din po natin na more on self-improvement ang nangyayari and home improvement, room renovation, talagang making our environment, kasi yun yung lagi natin nakikita. For business-minded people, yun yung nakikita din na opportunity. Like, what will make your clients happier? Ngayon na yun nga, hindi natin maiwasan talagang ma-feel isolated because of this pandemic. So another question po from Sir Samuel. How does one know if he or she is ready to start a business? Medyo
if you find that opportunity, do your research. Importante. Never get into something that you don't study first. Akala ng mga tao, totoo, an entrepreneur is a risk taker. But remember, the entrepreneur only takes calculated risks. Meaning, pinag-aaralan muna bago sumasabak. You have to balance your instinct with your knowledge. Right? So, kailangan pag-aralan ninyo. And based on that, based on your research, makikita mo naman kung magiging profitable yung negosyo yun. Another important thing is, and I believe George may have mentioned it this morning, look for something that you will be passionate about. Right? Look for something that you will be passionate about. Something that not only solves a problem, but really is part of your interest. Kasi, like what I said, it's not easy. Tulad sabi ni Mon kanina, it's not easy to be in business. Right? But if you're passionate about it, you will really persevere and you want to make it happen. Alright?
Tama si Sir doon. Nako, meron pa po Sir na dalawa. Actually, tatlo to Sir. Okay lang po ba?
Go ahead.
Very quick lang po. Okay. So, meron po si Sir Ron Oliver. Nabigyan daw siya, na-invite siya and na-accept sa the gift. But, hindi niya ata na-accept. Sir, eligible
Yes,
daw
just
po ba
message
siya?
us, Ron.
Okay, ayan, very nice. Kunin niyo lang yung contact info, Sir Ron Oliver, para ulitin niyo na ulit, makapag-join kayo ulit dyan.
Yes.
So, regarding the clean toilet movement naman daw po, how do you monetize it? Is it through ads? Or
depende, no?
member
If you're
corporations?
talking about kasi ano yan different businesses have different business models. Siyempre, kung yung paid toilet yung pinag-uusapan natin, edi pay per use. Diba? But with the app, iba naman siya. Diba? It's gonna be sponsorships and listing fees. Right? So, kailangan hanapin nyo kung paano nyo i-monetize. Ayun yung importante sa pag-negosyo. Find the business model or find the revenue model so that you can sustain that business. There is no such thing as something that is free. Right? Kapag may value kasi yan, handa naman magbayad ang tao Kusa sila magbabayad. Di ba? Kung kailangan mo ng malinis na toilet, di ba? Download app, talagang hahanapin mo. Kasi malinis Right?
Another, daw po, Sir, do the member corporations have to pay a fee in order to sustain yung movement na yun?
Like what I said, it varies. So yung for the toilet association, may mga may mga membership fees na charge.
Okay.
Kasi tulong-tulong naman yan
Number 2 question niya, Sir. Same person to. Do you have any tips in building and managing networks?
Always make sure that you're connected. Right? Make sure you're connected. Make sure that you're always relevant. Right? Importante po yan. Always keep them engaged. Make sure you create programs and activities so that you're always at the top of mind of your partners.
So you always have to reach out to them.
Yes, posting.
Go the extra mile talaga.
Yes.
Correct.
Good. Remember, your network, if you're offering something of value to them, they will stick around. Right? Kaya dapat relevance. It's always about relevance.
Okay. I think we're all good, Sir Carlo. Feeling ko may mga nahihiya lang dyan and tinitake note ng inyong mga contact details. So, again, if you have any other questions na very specific, malawak din kasi yung expertise ni Sir Carlo. So, you just have to message him through his social media, sa kanyang website, and andyan yung email din niya. Please feel free to save his contact information. So again, Sir Carlo, thank you very much for Day1, being here sa YEP Day1 natin and giving all of these parang ideas para ma-ignite talaga yung mga isip ng ating youth entrepreneurs. For this, kasi Day1 ng ating YEP, parang medyo pinapainit pa natin hindi pa tayo masyadong specific, but your session really parang na-tie together lahat. Since naisip na nila, na-inspire sila kay Sir George, nalaman nila yung realities, yung taxes, yung registrations, etc. Dito naman nalaman nila ano yung kind of business na pwede nyong i-delve into. So again, thank you, Sir